In Oakley, here's Farmer on a breakaway. Farmer scores! Short-handed break. Benzine in on Zebnik. Oh, and a great left pad save there. Shot deflected. They score! Cullen stopped short-handed.
You're listening to Wildcats Hockey, presented by Armored Roofing on the Wildcats Broadcast Network.
Good evening to you, wherever you may be joining us from. It is time for Wildcats Hockey, presented by Armored Roofing. Tonight, your Wildcats take on the Topeka RoadRunners as these two teams battle for supremacy atop the North American Hockey League South Division. Hello and welcome to the broadcast here from high above the ice level at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Ben Horner with you. Very pleased that you've decided to make us a part of your Saturday evening plans here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. As tonight, the Wildcats look to round out the weekend sweep of the first place Topeka RoadRunners here at the KYC. Wildcats come into tonight's contest fresh from a 7-4 win over the RoadRunners last night. A strong second period proved key to the win for the Wildcats. More on that in a moment, but let's set the scene for you and give you an idea of the implications of this contest in the South Division standings. As it has been throughout the majority of this first 30-35 games or so, it's a cluster at the top of the division table. Topeka sits in first place right now with a record of 26-8-3. They have 55 points, which is 5 better than the Wildcats, but Wichita Falls holds 4 games in hand on the Topeka RoadRunners here. As we enter play this evening, those will start falling off the schedule in February, and we believe the last one will fall off the schedule in the middle of March. So what tonight represents for the Wildcats is an opportunity to cut into that lead at the top of the standings for Topeka without having to use one of those games in hand to do so. Correspondingly, that gives them a little bit of a cushion with those games in hand. Either way, behind the Wildcats, they know that they've got the Brahmas breathing down their neck. Lone Star, after falling behind 3-0 last night at home to Wenatchee, stormed back and posted a 6-5 win over the Wild to stay perfect at the NYTEC Center. They still have yet to lose in that building. That has been a large part of the reason that they are currently tied on points for second place in the South Division. The Wildcats currently own second place by virtue of having played a game less than Lone Star. They also have one more win, and they have a better win percentage. So anyway you twist it, the tiebreakers go to the Wildcats, but they know that any moment that could get flip-flopped a little bit, as the Wildcats did spend some time in third place over the last couple of weeks. That was when they had hit a little bump in the road. 3 straight losses to close out 2014. Now seems like a little bit of a distant memory as the offense is flying high as the Cats have won their last 4. They ride into tonight's contest with a record of 25-8-0. They have won 4 straight. They've won the first 4 contests of 2014, I should say, and they have also won 11 straight at the K. Yeager Coliseum. They'll be looking to keep that stretch alive here this evening, as they've done something that they were not able to do last year, and that is turn the KYC into a fortress. They are 14-2-0 in this building. The last time they lost on home ice was a loss to the aforementioned Lone Star Brahmas, a 5-1 defeat back on October the 14th. As I mentioned, a span of 11 straight home wins. That is a franchise record. The Wildcats will make a couple of changes this evening, but really there's only one player substitution. Nikita Litviak returns from his 1-game suspension. He is back in with Nick Farmer centering and Sherazin on the left. That sees Oakley move back down to play with Falconer and Paul Subri, although don't take that term down as any sort of knock on any of the players on that 4th listed unit of Subri, Falconer, and Oakley. The fact is, right now, the Wildcats have 4 units that are scoring, and they got 4 units that can burn you at any given time, as evidenced by the fact that Alex Falconer has posted a goal in each of the 2 games since he has come back from an upper body injury that caused him to miss over a month for the Wildcats. Good to see Alex get back on the score sheet immediately. He had been playing his best hockey heading into the break before he did get hurt in that Corpus weekend. Good to see him come back and not really miss a beat as he's returned to the lineup and found himself right back on the score sheet. By the way, that unit of Subri, Falconer, and Oakley combined for a goal on Tuesday that seemed to spark the Wildcats' comeback after they were down in that second period. They went on to explode for another few goals. That was Saturday, by the way, I should say. It was Tuesday, I beg your pardon, that Falconer marked his return from injury with a goal. So the Wildcats, a couple of things to clean up from last night, though. They had a lot of good things, but there were still some things that Coach LaFontaine was not pleased about. Most notably, he wants the Wildcats to play a little bit tighter in the defensive zone. I had a chance to talk with Coach LaFontaine before the contest and asked him if overall he was happy with the trend he has seen out of his team's defensive play in their own zone over the last 3 and 4 games, and his answer was an emphatic yes, but he is still looking to see that full 200-foot game for a full 60 minutes. There were a couple of times last night where Topeka got the better of the Wildcats in transition and burned them a couple of times. Most notably, Carlos Fornaris and Mike Gornall scoring in transition. But what was notable about last night's contest, aside from the win in and of itself, it was another strong second period for the Wildcats that paced them to victory. They are outscoring opponents 18-5 in the second period over their last 4 wins. And when you consider they've scored 27 goals over that same 4-game span, it just goes to show you how much they are doing damage in that second period. Last night they outscored Topeka 4-2. They scored 3 unanswered in the last 2:45 of that second period to carry a 5-3 lead into the locker room, and that really seemed to give them a lift heading into the third period. And it also chased Matej Tomek, who had entered the game as the leading goals against average poster in the North American Hockey League. He also leads the league in shutouts, does Tomek. He will likely get the call again tomorrow night, but not too often that you've seen Tomek chased out of a contest. He was last night. That handed him his first regulation loss since November the 22nd, when it was a home game against the Springfield Junior Blues. So Topeka tonight, by the way, for their part, they've lost 5 straight on the road. They have just wrapped up a 14-game homestand. As we're in the pregame show here, Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Thanks for making us a part of your Saturday evening. As Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing will be heading your way in the next few minutes. But for Topeka, they're looking to right this ship away from the Landon Arena at the Kansas Expo Center. They've lost 5 straight on the road. They have a road-heavy second half of the schedule. They have already played, of their 30 home games, they've already played 22 of them, compared to 15 away games remaining for Topeka, and we've seen it up and down the North American Hockey League this year, and in particular in the South Division, when you've got teams as strong at home as you see out of some of these South Division teams, like Wichita Falls, who are 16-2-0 at home, like a Topeka, who are 19-2-1 at home, and like a Corpus Christi, who have only lost twice at home as well. It's understandable where the road struggles come in, and it seems like whoever is able to squeak out those extra couple of road points, that might turn out to be the deciding factor in this one. So for the Wildcats here, we'll keep an eye on guys like Nick Farmer and Jake Townsend, who have been absolutely red hot over the last week or so. Farmer riding a 7-game point streak heading into tonight's contest. But the other guy that we'll keep an eye on is one Mr. Jonathan Lazarus, wearing number 22. Last night, he posted his first career 3-point game. He had 2 goals and an assist, and one of those was an absolute beauty. And he has also posted back-to-back multi-point games for the first time in his career after he posted 2 on Friday. Typically, the trend with Lazarus had been that after a good, strong performance, he had been having some trouble following that up with another strong performance. Well, he was able to replicate Tuesday's effort last night. Will be able to carry that momentum into this evening as he looks to be the most recent Wildcat skater to break the 20-point mark. He has 19 points on the year this far. By the way, Lazarus has 3 goals and 3 assists against the Topeka RoadRunners this year, as we'll turn our attention now to the starting lineups brought to you by American Classified. Starting on the left wing for Topeka will be Daniel Erzowski. Erzowski out of Bratislava, Slovakia, stands at 6'1", 190 pounds. On the year, Erzowski is the Runners' leading goal scorer. He is third on the team in points, He has 16 goals on 18 assists for 35 points in 37 games played. Centering will be Mike Gornall, wearing number 8. Gornall had a tally last night. He's got 36 points on the year on 9 goals and 26. Gornall stands at 6 foot 210 pounds and hails from Irwin, Pennsylvania. He's a 94 birth year. On the right wing, it's Tyler Irvine. He was a little bit of a non-factor last evening. Irvine out of Livonia, Michigan, 5'10", 155 pounds. On the year, Irvine has 21 points on 10 goals and 11 assists. On the blue line for Topeka, Daniel Brickley will be on the left point, wearing number 6. Brickley had a bit of a quiet game last night, rare for one of the highest scoring defensemen in the league. He's got 25 points on the year on 8 goals and 17 assists. He stands at 6'3", 203 pounds. Pairing with him will be Tyler Hayes, number 12. Hayes, hailing out of Brighton, Michigan, standing at 5'11", 170 pounds on the year. Hayes has 6 points on 31 games played. And starting in net, Matej Tomek, 6'3", 180 pounds, also out of Bratislava, Slovakia, wearing number 30. Tomek is 16-3-1 with a 1.61 goals against average and a 9.32 save percentage. Head coach of the Runners is Scott Langer. Assistant coaches Josh Camaras, Anthony Bond, and Steve Briere. Now for the starting lineup for your Wichita Falls Wildcats, and once more, we'll start with the left wing. On the left side, it'll be Kevin Sherazin, 5'10", 165 pounds, out of Jameson, Pennsylvania. He had a multi-point game last night on a goal and an assist. He has 28 points on the year on 18 goals and 10 assists. For Sherazin, who is committed to the Air Force Academy, he stands at 5'10", 165 pounds. Centering will be Nick Farmer, wearing number 10. Farmer is on an absolute scorcher recently. He's got 14 points over his last 7 games on a career-best 7-game point streak. As on the year, he has 32 points on 13 goals and 19 assists. Pairing with him will be Nikita Litviak, 6'1", 190 pounds, back in the lineup tonight after a 1-game suspension. As Litviak on the year has 14 points on 6 goals and 8 assists. On the blue line for the Wildcats, on the left side of defense, it'll be Shane Kuzmeski, 6'2", 185 pounds, out of Grayslake, Illinois. Kuzmeski, wearing number 14, has played in 31 games played this season. He has 13 points on the year on 4 goals and 9 assists. Pairing with him will be Jake Townsend. Interesting there. Normally we see Townsend and Cherniak. We'll keep an eye whether Townsend and Kuzmeski will stay together all night long. Either way, Townsend is on a 4-game point streak for his troubles. 6', 180 pounds. 21 points on the year for Jake. His second straight 20-point season from the blue line. He scored last night, has 4 goals in his last 4 games. 6, 15, and 21 is the line for Townsend in 32 games played. Check that, 33 games played for the Wildcats. And starting in net tonight, Austin Shaw, 6'4", 205 pounds, out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. The Princeton commit is 14-3-0 on the year with a 2.90 goals against and a 9.03 save percentage. Head coach of the Wildcats is John LaFontaine, and in his first season, Chris Saransky is the sole assistant for Wichita Falls in his second campaign with the Cats. Those are the starting lineups brought to you by Pelicans Restaurant, located at 2301 Midwestern Parkway, just across from Midwestern State University. Pelicans Restaurant offers the choicest beef, freshest fish, and Texoma's best wine list. Next time you're in the Falls, visit our friends at Pelicans Restaurant for fine dining in a family atmosphere. That'll do it for us here on the pregame show. We'll step aside for the anthem. When we return, we'll have the opening face-off between the RoadRunners and your Wildcats here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network, as Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing is coming your way just after this. Good evening to you from the K. Yeager Coliseum, where the ice is down, the lights are up, and we are just about set for Wildcats hockey, presented by Armored Roofing. Hello, welcome to the broadcast. Ben Horner with you, Wildcats fans. Thanks so much for making us a part of your Saturday evening, as the Wildcats are looking to build on 4 straight wins and a 7-4 triumph over the first place Topeka RoadRunners last night, when they look to round out the weekend sweep here this evening. The Wildcats wearing their home white sweaters, skating from right to left across your screen, as Austin Shaw takes up the cage to our right. That's P2Q across your keyboard. Coming back the other way are the Topeka Roadrunners, skating from left to right across your screen, wearing their Road Navy sweaters. That's Q to P across your keyboard. As tonight's officials, Brody Cundy, the referee, the same exact crew as last evening. Dan Badecha and Daniel Spoor are the linesmen here this evening. For Topeka, looks like it will be for Norris, Fernsler, and Cam Strong to get things started, along with Brickley and Hayes. Wildcats scored first last night. That was a second straight contest, as they will look to do the same again here tonight for the third straight game. And Austin Shaw will look to backstop the Wildcats to a good, strong performance here tonight. What to watch for if you're the Wildcats? Getting that first goal and trying to limit the immediate responses that we've seen the last few weeks. Can they do it? We'll find out as Fernsler and Farmer take the draw and the puck is down. We're underway as right away this is picked up and played along by the Wildcats. Farmer trying to work this one along. He loses possession as this is played all the way in towards the defensive corner. No icing here, so Townsend will have to move it quickly. It was left there for Farmer. Farmer swung it back to the near side for Sheridan. He'll try to send this one all the way down, but it banked out of play. And we'll get a whistle here. By the way, it looks like there was just a little bit of a mix-up there. Chernyuk is, in fact, playing with Townsend. The consistent pairing stays together. 19 seconds off the clock in the first period here from the KYC, and we'll do a face-off right at center ice as Beaulieu, Apap, and Reisinger step out there. Off clean win there for Tommy, who's sporting a full shield after he's had a rough couple of games in the dental area, as this is played off towards this left wing side by Apap. Reisinger overskated a little bit here. Irvine tries to play this one along. He found a teammate there as Topeka tries to break out. Skips onto the stick of Matt Cook. He has some trouble with it. He'll re-corral. Irvine putting him under some pressure. Puck is towards the cage of Shaw, as this is Beaulieu from Matt Cook. Beaulieu has some trouble with it there. Trying to dig it loose is Gornall. Orzowski getting involved. Beaulieu takes this one away and finds Cam Knight. Knight, his slap shot goes high and gets the glass from about 60 feet away. Beaulieu steps onto this one, hoping to pick a pass. His shot saved and held by Tomek. We'll get the whistle. 60 seconds gone in this first period. We remind you this first period brought to you by American Classified. No score here from the KYC. And Austin Beaulieu is a guy who the Wildcats are so accustomed to seeing on the score sheet. And the caveat that all things are relative, Beaulieu is in a little bit of a slump right now. 4-game goalless spell, tied for his longest goalless spell of the year, as this is Shane Kosmeski. Kosmeski tries to go towards the corner. His pass was intercepted there by O'Connor. Rather, that was Brennan, as O'Connor is out tonight. Kosmeski will fish this one right back. Hooked along there, Lazarus towards the net. Kosmeski fanned on it. This is picked up here by Maver. He found a teammate. That's Jack Kelly. Jack Kelly, a one-time Wildcat, played all the way down. No icing here. Shaw is forced to play this one along. Sutter tries to hook it away from Colin Staub. Nothing doing there. Staub, it was left behind in the skates of the referee as Lazarus was waiting to sprint up the boards. Kosmeski bumped it back around for his D partner. That's Yeager. Yeager off to the left wing side, and Albrecht will play this one out. Settled by Kelly, flung in deep. No icing as he was over the red line here. Both teams in the midst of a change as Yeager takes this one behind the cage of Shaw. Up the ice, Oakley will protect on the wall. Nice rag there away from some pressure as Oakley tries to find Subri. Second attempt, hacked away once more. Yeager will play this one in his own zone, bank it off the wall as Subri tries to dig for it. Subri, now Townsend coming along on the far side wall. Oakley chips at this one, can't get it in deep past Brickley, and it's swung along for Hayes. Hayes in front of his own bench area. Back for Brickley, who will walk it all the way down the ice. Slap shot wide of the cage. Shaw had it tracked all the way. Quick shot there from the boards by Brown, and Shaw directs this one away. Subri has some trouble, but he'll settle and ramp up the glass. Trying to race onto this is Oakley. First to it there was Scherer in his own zone. Oakley forces a turnover. Hooked towards the middle. There was nobody there as the Wildcats were in the midst of a change, so Sheridan was late getting into that zone. Played out here by Topeka. Townsend hustles back to his own zone to corral as it comes up well short of icing. 17:20 remaining in this period. Townsend takes it from Sheridan. Litviak jabs at this one. He left it behind. Now in front of the penalty, or in front of the benches. He's under some pressure as Fernsler ties him up. Farmer getting involved in a good stick battle. 3 minutes played in this first period. Scoreless from the KYC as both teams trying to feel each other out a little bit. This is Poland. He'll look to walk through the middle. Has a step around Sheridan. Poland brings this one in offside, says the linesman. Badecha right in front of the play. 16:53 remaining in the first period. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. We'll get a face-off coming in the neutral zone here as the Wildcats and Topeka both looking for the first goal. The Wildcats 18-1-0 when scoring first. Topeka, for their part, 22-3-0 when finding twine before their opponents. Up. This is Kelly. He had some trouble with it, but it worked away to Urzowski. Sent back to the neutral zone. Now here's Reisinger with the step. Reisinger slams on the break. Shot saved there as he was spilling down to the ice. Tomek squeezed it 5-hole. 16:40 remaining in the first. Good look there for Max, who has not had points in his last couple of games, but he's been playing very good hockey, continuing where he left off before he left the Wildcats for Austria duty at the U20 World Championships. Now Tomek having some trouble finding the puck. He was able to find it in that left pad, it looked like. Reminiscent of Braden Holtby for the Washington Capitals a few days ago. Either way, face-off to the left is one cleanly back to the point, but it split the D, and Cook will have to race back into his own end. Cook sends this one up ahead for Reisinger. Now it's Bolio. Bolio hacked away from him. Cam Knight curls back in his own zone. Here is Matt Cook, under some pressure, has some trouble with it, recollects, loses out once more. Here's Irvine, hooked towards the front of the net, and nobody there as Urzowski had overcommitted on the play. Now it's Apap, starting it forward, right wing, drops back for Reisinger, hooks along for Bolio. Reisinger loses it in his skates. He's walled off it cleanly there as working it up ahead, it's Urzowski. Urzowski, a couple of guys tumble down to the ice. Gornall walks it forward. Gornall, top of the right circle, jabbed away from him by Kuzmeski here. Kuzmeski seals off the boards as the Wildcats try to dig it loose. In front of their bench area, Reisinger will play this farther along. Now it's a turnover as Albrecht intercepts. Here's Albrecht's shot, and it's saved there on the pad. Hooked in front, and Lazarus had it on his backhand. Into the corner goes Lazarus. Finds to the point where it's Kuzmeski serving it down low. Albrecht into the middle. Here's Stubb, and it skipped over his stick as he had skated into the slot on a trailing effort. Kuzmeski quickly back up the ice for Lazarus. This unit has been hot as this is Jaeger, flipping this one in deep. Wildcats have to tag up on a delayed offside. Albrecht will do so as we have 4.5, now 4:35 played in a scoreless first period. Under some pressure here is Jack Kelly. Colin Staub hacking them all the way there. Luka Maver will take this one as the Wildcats are trying to hem Topeka back in their own zone a little bit here, as trying to force a turnover was Lazarus. Tied up in the neutral zone there was a Topeka skater. That was Maver. He was able to recover the puck as we have 5 minutes played in the scoreless first. It's chipped in. First to it here is Jaeger in his own zone, feeling the pressure from Renneker. First time we've called Renneker's name this evening. Jaeger skips this one towards the cage of Tomek there and curls to the bench for a change. Oakley out there, takes this one away and knocks it towards the back wall. Subri with it, one hand on his stick. He'll look to go back towards the corner. Ridden off legally so there. Falconer helps out, tries to find Subri, skipping up the half wall. It's Brown playing it cross ice. Now with a step, here is Lutz. He didn't use him, and we get an offside play here as Shaq, the linesman, makes the call. 14:30 remaining in the first period. Wildcats and Runners scoreless 0-0. Yet to see a real grade A chance in this contest. Two teams involved in a bit of a cagey affair right now. They have the shots on goal as 3-1 in favor of the Cats, but neither of them, aside from Reisinger's, has been any sort of quality scoring look. Off just outside the Wildcats' defensive zone. Townsend steps forward and now walks back with it. Chips it along. Litviak couldn't play this one all the way down low. Brickley. Pass was in the skates of Farmer. He'll spike it in deep. The Cats will tag up on a delayed offside as picking this one up behind his own cage was Hayes. Bump back along. Off to the far side it goes. Brickley steps around a forechecker. Outlet pass is well wide of everybody. Should go for icing here, and Sheridan is the closest to it, so that draws the whistle. 14:06 remaining in the first. Wildcats 0, Topeka 0. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network, as this is the second of two games between these two teams this weekend. The Wildcats next in action against the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees next weekend on Jersey Off Our Back weekend. Always a fun one here at the KYC. Looking forward to that one. Last year the Cats raised $30,000, $30,556 to be exact, for Children's Miracle Network at United Regional Healthcare System. Looking to up that maybe to $40,000 to this year, as this is Cook holding shot, goes wide of the cage. Tomek was screened. Knight hustles back into his own zone, flung along there for Farmer. Farmer steps up and chips this one in deep. Wide of the cage of Tomek, no icing here anyway, as Sherazin was muscled off it as he was trying to play it in. Farmer softly towards the net, gloved down nicely there by Brickley, as Sherazin would have done the exact same in front of the cage, as Cam Knight will hack this one away from Carlos Fornares. Fornares steps away from Sherazin. Pass splits a couple of guys. Knight on this one here, bumps it off the back wall, hoping it reaches Matt Cook, and it does. Quickly along for Farmer. Now it's Sherazin. Sherazin pass into the skates of Litviak. Litviak trying to settle here, onside play, but he was well behind the puck. 13:20 remaining in the first period. Bolio jabbing at this one here. Loose puck in the neutral zone picked up by Topeka. Skating it forward was Erzowski, and a couple of guys back check him off this one. Loose puck squirts its way along for Bolio. He'll step onto this one, spins away from the check, plays it cross ice, parallel for Townsend. Townsend walks forward, onside play. Townsend chips it towards the corner and says go get it to Max Reisinger. Left behind there for Bolio. He couldn't handle a skipping puck. Ridden off there was Erzowski by APAP, but it's worked up the wall and played into the middle where Irvine starts it forward. He'll play this one in deep and circle to the bench for a change with 12:45 remaining in the scoreless first period. Chernyuk dusting the puck off behind the cage of Shaw, now worked it along for Townsend. Townsend motoring down the right wing wall to the red line. He'll go. Banks at this one, trying to step along are the Wildcats. Lazarus into the zone, top of the circle. Lazarus holding his shot blocked there. That was Kelly who got a body in the way. Lazarus trying to dig this one free. Now it's a 2-on-1 for Topeka. Renneker with Maver. Renneker with a step shot. Fought off there by Shaw. Picked up here by Maver in the corner. Maver getting ridden off there nicely and legally so by Yeager. Yeager steps this one free, floats it along for Lazarus, who comes hard back to the near side for Albrecht. Albrecht over the red line, plays this one in deep, and he'll skate to the bench for a change. Tomek left it there, stop, put him under some pressure. Topeka moving this one quickly as that was Hikosaka sidestepping a man. Now it's Renneker, drop pass. Hikosaka, backhander, saved by Shaw. Puck is still loose, and it's stashed off the back wall. Up to the point it comes for Hayes. Swung along. Here's Brickley, one-timer. Puck loose, and it trickled wide of the cage as Shaw had it squeezed through his legs. Subri ties his man up to the point. Shot well wide of the cage. Lazarus jabs at this one and just pokes it into the neutral zone there. Shaw with his first action of the evening, and boy did he have to be alert to those. A couple of strong saves as Topeka tried to ramp up the transition rush. We've seen that before. Rushing it along here is Brickley. His shot, toe save there, and it's put right onto the tape of Matt Cook. Cook leads this one along. Trying to race onto this is Oakley. Too far for him as Brickley sends us in deep. Wildcats just chipping out and getting forced right back into the zone right now. Nice play there by Subri. He tries to hook it along. Oakley will dust this one off and give to Cam Knight. 11 minutes remaining in the first as the Cats just try to settle things down. Softly forward, here is Falconer at the left wing circle. Puts on the brakes at the wall. Falconer goes into the corner. Waiting for it there was Sherazin. Sherazin is tied up. Behind the net, he's trying to work it loose as Oakley works in there to support as well. Face-off is, or rather a penalty upcoming, and Oakley takes an offensive zone penalty. It's an interference call, and that's a silly one to take if you're Oakley because Sherazin had already stepped away. 10:52 remaining in the first period, and the Wildcats will head to the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. Face off to the right of Austin Shaw coming. Offensive zone penalties were something that burned the Wildcats on Tuesday. They were able to overcome a couple of power play goals that stemmed from offensive zone penalties. But Topeka, a little bit harder to do so. One-timer from Brickley, fought off there by Shaw. Follow up again, holds on it, and will look to set things up. Here's Erzowski holding. Now a one-timer. Fersler scores! Rather Brickley with a ripper from the blue line, and Topeka takes the lead on a power play tally. One-timer was fought off by Shaw. He got the puck right back and blasted it home once more. That's really a goal that should not have even had an opportunity to develop were it not for an offensive zone penalty taken less than 4 seconds before that. Cats have to clean it up in the offensive zone. Penalties there are going to burn you against a team like Topeka. This is Kosmeski looking to go up the wall. Led along here for APAP by Bolio. Here is APAP. Quick shot save there by Tomek. And you know that Tomek is not a goalie who's going to give up 5 too often. Here is Bolio. Now Reisinger wants it. Backdoor for APAP. Puck loose, and Bolio couldn't drag it around into some space, as spiking it away was an alert Topeka skater. Urzowski, quick little shot. Served wide there by Shaw, and it's played back down low by Scherer on the far side. Urzowski takes this one away. Into the corner it goes. Gornall looks to hook it up into the middle of the ice. Up to the blue line, it squirts for Scherer towards the net, wide of the cage. Lively Karam off the back of the net. Chopped free there by Cam Strong. APAP will send this one along for Reisinger. Here is Max Reisinger on the right wing wall. He'll look to get to the red line and chip this one in. No icing here as Lazarus will hustle in. Rather, that was Albrecht there. Put Tomek under some pressure. Staub getting involved as well, as first to this one is Carlos Fornaris. Kelly has some trouble with it in his own zone. He'll curl back and reset. Almost gave it away, but found his teammate Brennan, and it's worked along here for Fernsler. Swept into the corner there by Fernsler. First to it is Matt Cook. Rocked around the boards as Cook took a big hard hit. Albrecht leads it along, hoping for Lazarus in stride. Here's Lazarus. Staub in front there, and the centering effort was deflected to the back glass. Here's Lazarus. Fan on a pass as he was trying to go up to the point. Now a 3-on-2 for Topeka. Fornaris leading the charge. Has Fernsler and Brennan with him. Drop pass. Now holding on its shot is intercepted there as Knight had stepped in front of Fornaris. This is Staub. Cuts through the middle and plays this one in deep as everyone was changing. 9 minutes remaining in the first period. Cats now trailing 1-0 as Daniel Brickley has scored on the power play to give Topeka the edge. Brickley from Fernsler and Gornall at 9:19 of this first period. Farmer can reach this one. Kicked away there by Cherniak as Litviak is able to work this into the neutral zone. Brickley and now Hayes in their own end looking to start things forward for the Roadrunners. Brickley didn't like what he saw in front of him. He'll wheel back into his own zone. I mentioned that first goal. Litviak touches this into some space. Sherazin trying to reach it here. Maver just got his big stick in the way there. Litviak hacks this one free. Taking a stick up high there was Sherazin. We play on. As stepping forward here is Hayes. 3-on-3 they'll skate. Right wing wall, it's Sutter. Sutter delays, waits for some traffic. Still delaying. Pass through the middle was behind Hiko Saka there as this is picked up. Now it's a breakaway attempt for Sherazin, and it just skipped over his blade and will go for icing. Litviak was a split second late, realizing that Sherazin had that much room. 8:05 remaining in the first period, icing the call. The Wildcats trailing 1-0 as we come to you from the KYC. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Topeka, as I mentioned, 22-3-0 when scoring first. Got the first tally tonight, came on a power play. The Wildcats penalty kill continues to need improvement here as this is Brown winning it from Farmer off the wall. Brown walking towards the middle, poked away from him and into the neutral zone it goes. Wildcats will start up a change, but a penalty upcoming here, and it's going to be a slashing call, and it's going to be against the Roadrunners. Sherazin had his lumber hacked from his hands, so it'll be Willie Brown skating over to the box. We'll get 2 minutes for slashing. And with 7:50 remaining in the first, we'll get the Wildcats' first power play of the evening. Wildcats power play on the year, tied for first, 25%, 33 for 132 on the year. At home, the Wildcats power play, 22.1%, 17 for 77. They were 0 for 1 on the man advantage last night. Knight jabs this one down the wall. Staub will protect and look to set things up. Finds Townsend, holding shot, saved, fought up by Tomek, and he'll cover up and we'll get the whistle. As the puck was sitting loose for a second, APAP had a couple swings at it, but wasn't able to get that one past Tomek. 7:38 remaining in the first, and as the Cats are on the power play for the next minute 49, it's worth noting that Tomek gave up 5 goals last night. Not something that you're going to see too often from him, but it does give the Cats a confidence booster. They know they can put the puck past him. This is Cam Knight down into the corner for APAP, who spins away. APAP along for Staub. in front. Staub's pass was intercepted, as this is Austin Bolio now skating to the left wing circle. Bolio fed it towards the middle. Puck didn't get all the way through to Townsend or Apap. Up to the point. Knight served it along here. Staub left wing circle. Finds Townsend. Holding. Quick shot is blocked there, as there was traffic in front, and it caroms to the neutral zone. Wildcats tag up on a delayed offside. Here is Cam Knight. Holding on it still. Quick shot save. Fought off. Settled by Knight at the goal line. In the corner. Knight looks for somewhere to go with it. Chips it. Wants it back on his backhand. He couldn't get it home, and then Staub wasn't able to turn it into an empty net as he was handcuffed. Bolio softly along the blue line. Townsend holds. Knight. Right wing circle in front for Bolio. He was tied up. 6:50 remaining in the first. 55 seconds remaining in the Wildcats power play. Bolio rocked into the wall there, and he'll lose possession of the puck. Tries to win it back and serves it up to the point. Here is Townsend as the Wildcats continue to work the power play. Bolio, now it's Staub, playing towards the middle there, and Tomek made the save. Here is Staub once more, trying to wheel all the way up to the point. Now into the circle he'll go. On his backhand, below the goal line, Apap jabs at it. Staub, a backhand attempt there, and he wasn't able to get it on cage as Topeka sends this one all the way down. Good puck movement, good possession, but nothing doing on the power play quite yet for the Wildcats. They have 20 seconds remaining as Sharazin looks to motor ahead. Sharazin plays it off to the right wing side. Farmer Corrals has some trouble with it here, so he'll chase into the corner. Tied up below the goal line is Litviak here. Litviak knocked towards the corner. 10 seconds remaining in the power play. Cook settles, flips it towards the corner. Settled there below the goal line by Farmer. Farmer wanting a one-timer. Now a shot is fought off on the shoulder by Tomek as it had caromed along for Sharazin. It's Farmer. High slot shot goes up against the glass. We are back to 5-on-5. Yeager in front. They score! It's Kevin Sharazin. The Wildcats kept the pressure on after the penalty expired. Sharazin off to Tomek's left, makes it 1-1 on his 19th of the year. Sharazin was in the right spot at the right time to turn home a loose puck after some great offensive zone pressure. It's 1-1 with 5:42 remaining in the first period. 19th of the year for Kevin as he continues to lead the team. Now, Topeka will look to replicate what they did a few times last night, and that is immediate responses. Willie Brown here as he has just finished up serving that penalty as Falconer rides his man into the wall. Hikosaka goes down low. Hikosaka dressing in place of Bo Domer this evening as this is Evan Oakley looking to back his way out of the zone. His attempted clearance hit the linesman, then he turned it over to his stick in the neutral zone. It's picked up by Cam Knight and played all the way down. 5:10 remaining in the first period. Tomek swept it away from Paul Subri. Hard pass up ahead where Willie Brown will play it along for Lutz. This is Lutz. Shot steered wide of the cage on the stick of Austin Shaw. Subri first to this one here. Cherniak clears out into the neutral ice. Between the blue lines, it's Poland. Now it's Shearer. Shearer chips in. Onside play here as tagging up were the Roadrunners. Cherniak around the wall, wanting Oakley. He finds him. Oakley leaves the puck behind here. Oakley having some trouble controlling that puck on his stick tonight. Cherniak sweeps it around once more. This is Albrecht. Looks to touch it up the wall, hoping for Staub. Never reached him as Fernsler got in the way. Up to the point for Fornaris. Shot blocked there. That was Albrecht who got his body in the way. Nice play there by Austin. Held in here by Topeka. Fernsler's shot off a leg. Goes to the corner. Fornaris first to it here. Cherniak spins him off it. Can't reach this puck though with 4:15 remaining in the first period. 1-1 is the score. A couple of Roadrunners tangle up. That allows Staub to gain possession. He'll get to the red line here. What'll he do? He'll take it wide. Puts on the brakes. Quick shot and it flashes wide of the post. All the way out into the neutral zone it comes. Lazarus will pick this one up and wheel up ice. Here is Lazarus at the right circle. Drop pass onto the stick of Yeager. Had it handcuff him a little bit, so he'll just serve it back down towards the corner. Intercepted by Topeka. Erzowski up the ice. Walking it forward. Here is Irvine. Drop pass. Gornall. Good stick there, and it caroms towards the cage of Shaw. He sweeps it towards the corner. Fernsler walking towards the middle. Now into the corner. Wanting it back is Erzowski. Holding on it. Erzowski's shot off the outside of the cage. Picked up on the far side by Lazarus. He'll play this off the glass. Kicked along there by Brennan with 3:30 remaining in the first period. Brennan walking in. Holding on a shot. Now it's sent wide to the cage there as Shaw got a good stick to that one. Loose puck in the offensive zone. Unable to corral it there was Sutter. This is Kuzmeski with Reisinger to his right. Kuzmeski, quick shot there off a leg, and that goes out of play. 3:14 remaining in the first period. The score is tied up at a goal apiece. Pretty similar to what we saw last night, although the difference being that Topeka found the back of the net first. It was Daniel Brickley on a power play tally, and then Kevin Sherizin at 14-18 of the first from Nick Farmer and Eric Yeager. So that will keep the point streak alive for Mr. Farmer. And that is now 8 games for Nick. He continues to stretch his career highs. He's set new career highs in goals with 13, in assists now with 20, and points now with 33. As Farmer is on 4 straight multi-point outings. Falls 16-6-0 when Nick has a point. By the way, Kevin Sherizin scored 10 of his now 19 goals on the power play. He's got 8 multi-point games on the year, as he is 1 point away from being the 5th Wildcats skater to crack the 50-point mark. And by the way, we'll say one more thing, as it was Yeager getting the secondary assist. Eric Yeager, who has 16 points on the year, has quietly put up, in all of this offensive production, he's quietly put up some solid numbers over the last few games. He's scored points, or he's got points, in now 4 of his last 6 contests. Face off to the right of Tomek. We're skating 5-on-5 in a 1-1 game in the first period here from the KYC. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network, as getting a final warning where Brickley and Sherizin for encroachment. Will drop the puck here. It's Sherizin, left it along the wall. That allowed Brickley to clear down. Held in momentarily by the Cats. Litviak couldn't reach this one first, as Sutter will play this one cross ice. Renneker walks in, collides with his own man. Having to wait for a couple of guys to tag up was Hayes. Now Hayes will gain the zone. Can't go all the way down the wall as Sherizin got in the way, trying to chip it forward for Litviak, and was away from Nikita, and it's back up the ice for Topeka. Maver rolls this one around the kick plate. Shaw will step out of his crease here. Sutter tries to win this one back towards the corner. Renneker can't beat Farmer to the spot there. Now a two-side battle will ensue. Farmer hacked at this one. Renneker took it away from him, though. On the half wall, Renneker trying to spin it. Cross-ice pass. Here's Brickley. One-timer fought off there by Shaw on a big slapper. Might have gotten it there with a big waffle board, and it's worked out of the zone by the Wildcats. Litviak hustles down on the forecheck, 2:20 remaining in the first, as the Wildcats are starting up a change, as are the RoadRunners. This is Hayes in front of his own bench. He'll get to the red line, play this one all the way around. Cook meets it there on the far side. Gloving it down was Oakley. Oakley left this one along and will pick it right back up to the red line. Hooked it along into some space, nobody home. Nice play there by Falconer to knife it out of midair to disrupt the rush as Topeka was trying to step forward. Forced back farther is Matt Cook. First to it here is Falconer, jabbed along for Subri. Subri, nice touch pass to hit Falconer, stepping forward. Here is Cam Knight now. Rather, this is Townsend. Drops for Falconer in space. Quick shot and a glove save, and he fought it off to the glass, did Tomek. Cherniak back towards the net, deflected there, and Tomek will make the save as Falconer got a stick to it in the slot, deflected it towards the net. But a lollipop shot there, and Tomek had plenty of time to react. A minute 44 remaining in the first period. 1-1 the score here. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network, as the faceoff will come to the right of Matej Tomek. Faceoff to Tomek's right. Staub will take it against Gornall. Gornall with a little hack at Staub. Off the faceoff, they tie up. Renneker, or rather Scherer, knocked it to the back wall. Urzowski couldn't handle this one cleanly, so Townsend tries to send it back in. Urzowski got in the way. Townsend got his stick in the way, and we'll start it right back up the ice. Here is Townsend, cutting inside. Now back to his forehand. He'll look to curl back to the point. Instead, he's walled off it there by Gornall. Can't work his stick free, and it swung loose. Could be a 3-on-2 for Topeka. Here is Scherer, gaining the zone. Shot off the leg of Cherniak there. That stung him. Back door, it caroms along. Picked up there on the back wall in the last minute 10 of the first period, as it's hooked out towards the high slot, goes all the way down off the skate or off the stick of a Topeka player, so no icing here. Trying to start up a quick change here are the Wildcats. They are able to get everybody on. Reisinger picks the pocket of Urzowski, looks to motor forward. Here's Reisinger hooked along, and it was in the skates of Apap, and Beaulieu can't follow up either. Fernsler in the last minute of play in the period, brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. Towards the corner, it's it's played there by Fernsler. Kosmeski turns it over here as Fornaris tries to take it away from him. Here's Fornaris in the right wing corner there, sticks swinging loosely as this is Bolio hooking this one along. Nice play there by Reisinger. Dipsy doodles around one. 30 seconds remaining. Reisinger slams on the brakes, looking for Bolio there. His pass too hot to handle. Now it's a stretch pass. Brickley walking in, holding on it, and curls away to the half wall as APAP got back. Topeka was in the midst of a change. 20 seconds remaining in the first period as we've had a good pace to this one. Reisinger gassed at the end of his shift. Onside, here is Brickley in the last 15. Shot, save, rebound swept away. Held in here by Sutter, holding on a big slapper. Now sends it towards the net and it goes wide. 5 seconds remaining in the period. Turned over there once more. Hacking at it is Reisinger, and that will see the period end. Max was absolutely gassed. He was out there for the last minute and 10, minute 15. He couldn't get off the ice and get a change on, but no harm, no foul, as he was able to do just enough to keep Topeka from capitalizing on that spell in the offensive zone at the end of the first period. We do reach the end of the first. 1-1 the score. Daniel Brickley opened the scoring on a power play tally for Topeka on a big blast from the blue line, but Kevin Sherazin has answered for the Wildcats. That's where we sit. 1-1 the score through 20 minutes of play here at the KYC. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll hear from Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine, and we'll take a look at what else is going on around the North American Hockey League on the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard. That and more is coming your way on the other side of the break as Wildcats hockey continues on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Jaeger Coliseum. Ben Horner with you. We're through 20 here in Wichita Falls. 1 goal for the Cats, 1 goal for the Roadrunners. That is where we sit, tied up just as we were last night after one. And last night, as it has been in the last few weeks, and it's been the second period that proved the difference maker for the Wildcats. We'll see if that is the case this evening. But I like what I saw from the Wildcats after they took an offensive zone penalty and gave up a power play goal about 6 seconds later on a big blast from Brickley. By the way, goal number 9 on the year for Brickley, as the Wildcats got burned on that offensive zone penalty, but their response was solid, and they did have a power play opportunity. Their goal coming from Kevin Sherizan was scored just after Willie Brown's penalty had expired. Willie Brown took a 2-minute minor for slashing. By the way, that too was an offensive zone penalty, so both teams trading O-zone penalties there, and it burned both of them. So those two things will cancel out either way. The Wildcats are happy to be tied up at a goal apiece because this is a Topeka squad that is 15-0-0 when leading after one period of play. Still 10-4-2 when tied after the first period, but the Wildcats are certainly going to like where they sit one period if it's tied up more than if they're trailing. The Wildcats, by the way, when tied after one, are 8-3-0, including last night's contest, as they went on to a 7-4 win. They fell behind 2-1, then 3-2, but another strong second period carried them to victory. I had a chance to talk with Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine before the game, and I got his thoughts from last night's contest. Here with you Wildcats fans, and joining me now is Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine as the Wildcats are wrapping up a 2-game set against the Topeka RoadRunners here at the KYC. And John, they got the series off on a good note last night with a 7-4 win. Fairly evenly played contest as you would expect from the top two teams in the division. What was your overall analysis from that game?
I'm hesitating, Ben, because it was a good hockey game, and it was a lot happened in the game. And there was a lot of offense that you didn't expect, some breakdowns you didn't expect from both teams. Really, really proud of our guys angling, work they put in this week on angling, and how to do. You and I talked about before the game, being able to plug that mid zone up and angling. Help our D out so that when they're coming into our zone, they don't outnumber us and they don't have a chance to make plays. They're good. They make plays when they have time and space. And our guys really did a good job of creating some turnovers, and transition game was the key. I thought we capitalized on our transition for at least 5 of the 7 goals, which was huge. Same effort tonight. Watch how they move the puck, how they support the puck, their speed. They don't have a lot of weakness. I was really surprised how we got to Topeka in that second period, late in the second. It was great to see that and get him rattled, and I think our guys really gained some confidence because of that.
Is it fair to say that it was almost a lesson learned back in December from that weekend in Topeka? Seemed like, as you alluded to there, John, they had a much easier time dealing with the transition game and limiting that space at the top of the zone that they like to play for that trailing pass along the blue line.
And you're right. They do pass it back. They'll find that rush, and they're not scared to pass it back instead of forward, which gives them more space to operate and make their plays. When we were in Topeka, we didn't have a good joke. We didn't have much of a back check, and we played too much in our own zone. They had their way with us. I thought last night we made it tough. We were tough to play against. Watching the film, we really eliminated their ice. They didn't have a lot of time to make plays that they're used to. We can capitalize on that same tonight, and even do a quicker job of transitioning on them. I think we can have the same results. We just have to tighten up in some of our areas of our D zone.
Overall, though, are you pleased with the way the defense has been improving after a little bit of a bump in the road there at the end of 2014?
Yes, our commitment, Ben, was much better. We got back. We were back checking with a purpose. And in the D zone, we had a purpose. Guys looked like they were understanding who I need to go pick up and how I need to play him. And was just a lot more effort playing 200-foot game.
Like, although Austin Shaw did face 31 shots, there was a lot of pucks that didn't get all the way through. Is that a point of emphasis against this Topeka team that is willing to throw up shots from pretty much anywhere in the offensive zone?
Yeah, we want to eliminate their points. They get a lot of offense from their defense. We wanted to eliminate them having time and getting pucks. And the other option that they use a lot is their third man, who's very high. In the first period, they used him, and he popped that position probably got 3 or 4 shots that we eliminated the rest of the game after that. I thought our guys did a better job of finding him. He's out high, he's in quiet areas, and then all of a sudden shows up when they need him. High pass and a shot. That was an area that we got better at as the game went, as well as not allowing their D to get shots through.
John, quick note on tonight as we look ahead to tonight's contest. We're already through one period of play, 2 more periods yet to go, and Colin Staub in his 150th game as a member of the Wildcats. Words on what Colin Staub has meant to you in your first season here with the Wildcats and what you've been able to pick up as he's meant to the Wildcats over his 3 years.
We've talked in length about his leadership and his work ethic and his character. It's second to none, and it's just it feeds off the rest of the guys. You know, the guys see the effort that he plays with and the preparation that he exhibits before games, before practice, and it's just contagious. And it's feeding off of our younger guys. He comes to play every night, and he comes to play every shift. Always willing to take a hit, always first to get to pucks. He's very, very smart. He's such a smart hockey player, and it's really fun to see him take a couple younger players on his shoulders and really help them and work with them. And you can see Lazarus and Albrecht just enjoying playing with him and having fun playing the game because they know he's going to either get them the puck in or protect the puck and allow them to be able to have time with it. So it seems like wherever we put him, he makes those guys around him better. He's invaluable. His leadership, along with Cooks and Farmer and the rest of the older guys, he's got a good team that help him lead this team.
More specifically on tonight's game, I should say, what adjustments might we expect Topeka to make from last night to tonight to try and gain the upper hand?
Well, we're forechecking them differently in the mid zone, Ben. We only committing one guy on our guys did a great job of it. One area that leaves us a little open is if they can get a cross ice pass through in the mid zone, and they did it a couple of times, but I think that they're going to watch film and try to expose that. Now, weak side D, that's his job to be ready to intercept that, to be up to contest that, to engage in that player not getting time. I think we'll be ready for it, but I think they'll make an sure.
John, thanks so much for your time. We'll be back in just a moment. When we come back, we'll have the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard report as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue just after this. We're back here with you at the K. Yeager Coliseum. You just heard Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine talking about what he liked, what he didn't like from his team in that game last night. And I have to say, a evenly played first period. A lot to like about the Wildcats' effort. A couple of things to clean up, although the same can be said for both teams thus far, as you would expect between the top 2 teams. Fairly clean game and a fairly evenly played game. Shots on goal 12-8. Narrowly favoring the RoadRunners. Let's take a look at what else is going on around the North American Hockey League. Time now for the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard report, and as we always do, we'll start outside the South Division. Johnstown playing host to the Springfield Junior Blues this evening after losing 4-3 in a shootout last night. The Tomahawks now trailing 1-0 as they enter the second intermission there in central Pennsylvania. They are in the second intermission in Flint, Michigan as well. 6-2, Janesville beating up on the Warriors. Janesville had a 10-game winning streak, ended in a 3-0 loss to Cooley Region last Saturday. They are still 14 points clear of first place in the North Division. Michigan, for their part, they've gone 8 games without a win. They've lost 5 consecutive contests to the Janesville Jets. You know they're getting sick of this. They trail by 4 heading into the third period. A big matchup in Wisconsin this evening. Cooley Region Chill playing host to the Minnesota Wilderness. The Wilderness picked up a 6-4 win over Cooley Region at home on Thursday. That was the Chills' first regulation loss since November the 22nd. As you might expect, a tightly played contest there between the top team in the Midwest Division and one of the hottest teams in the entire league, Cooley Region. 1-1 the score there. They're underway in the second period. In Austin, Minnesota, 2-1, the Bruins holding the lead over the Minot Minotauros, looking to get some revenge for a shootout loss last evening. Minot continuing to play well. They continue to lead the Central Division, up 5 points on the Bruins after last night's shootout victory. In Aberdeen, 2-0. The Wings holding the lead over the Minnesota Magicians. They're through 20 minutes there. In Bismarck, the Bobcats bidding for a 4th straight win. They're up 2-1 on the back end of a home-and-home with the Brookings Blizzard after they picked up the win last night. That was a 4-3 road win for the Bobcats for some bookkeeping. The division, Lone Star hosting the Wenatchee Wild after turning over a 3-0 deficit last night. The Brahmas have a 1-0 lead halfway through the first period in the NITEC Center in North Richland Hills. In Rio Grande Valley on the Mexican border, it is 1-1 between the Killer Bees hosting the Amarillo Bulls, and the Bulls have to be careful here. Still lots of time left to go in this season, but they are 4 points behind Rio for the 6th and final playoff spot in the South Division. They have to make sure that they don't lose too much more ground or they're going to slip away in the race for that final playoff spot in the South Division. And in Corpus Christi, just up the bend from Rio Grande Valley, 1-1 is the score between the Jackalopes and the Ice Rays, as Odessa looking to bounce back from a loss last evening. A 4-2 win at home for Corpus Christi, and their home record really has been the key to keeping Corpus even in the question of challenging for the top 2 spots, but they are starting to slip away, and as they'll hit the road for the remainder of January after tonight's contest, we'll keep an eye on that one as we speak. Corpus Christi, 39 points, 11 points back of third place, or tied for second place, Wildcats and Brahmas. They're going to have to start picking up some points on the road or they're going to slip away in that race. Anyway, that'll do it for the Jerry Sporting Goods Out-of-Town scoreboard. That'll do it for us on the intermission report as well. We'll step aside when we come back. We'll have the second period of action as we'll skate 5-on-5 in a 1-1 hockey game from the KYC. Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing continues just after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. At the KYC, Ben Horner with you here. We're skating a 5-on-5 as we're getting set to start the second period of action between the Runners and your Wichita Falls Wildcats. Teams changing ends here. Tomek now in the cage to my right. In the cage to my left is Austin Shaw as the Wildcats in their home white sweaters skate left to right across your screen and Q to P across your keyboard to start this second frame. 1-1 the score as we enter the second stanza. Brickley for Topeka, Sherazin for the Wildcats. That is where we stand, as it'll be Farmer, Sherazin, and Litviak out there countering for Norris, Fernsler, and Cam Strong for the Roadrunners. Chernyuk and Townsend, the defenseman, going against Hayes and Brickley, the defenseman for Topeka, as Shaq, the linesman, waiting for the go-ahead from the guys in the in the scorekeeper's box, and the puck is down. We are underway in the second period, brought to you by American Classified, as it's won by Farmer and played all the way in deep. Gaining the red line first was Chernyuk, so that negates any icing. Looking to start it forward here is Topeka. Hard near side for Norris. Corrals lost out. That causes a delayed offside. Strong was unaware of it, so we'll get the whistle. And Spoor, the linesman, will blow things dead. 19:43 remaining in the second period. We're just underway here in the middle frame from the KYC. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Thanks so much for making this a part of your Saturday evening plans, whether that comes from the Pacific Northwest, maybe you're in Canada, heck, maybe you're in Austria or Russia, or maybe you're in the Northeast. Either way, wherever you're joining us from, thanks for making us a part of your evening. Played forward there off the faceoff. That was Farmer trying to find Litviak. Nice play there by Cam to keep the RoadRunners from springing away, as this is picked up there by Cook. Cook having some trouble with it there in his own zone. Was a Topeka skater onside barely, but Litviak lost out on the puck. As looking to start this one forward was Poland. Wrapped hard around the boards. First to it here is Erzowski on this near side corner. Trying to dig it free was Farmer and Knight. Litviak getting involved as well, but it goes back down towards the corner. Erzowski gets a position battle one there on Cam Knight and will skate it along. Quick shot there, partially canceled out. That was Hayes in the slot. Rather, it was Irvine. Irvine will spin this back down low. Gornall leaves it there for Erzowski. Worked up the wall to the near side. This is Gornall digging it loose, but Litviak will pull it free, get to the red line. What do we do with it here? Litviak, offside play, as one move too many. 18:46 remains in the second, and as Litviak returns from a one-game suspension, it seems like we're seeing a lot of the same things that we saw before he had to sit that one game. One move too many here, a delay there, and next thing you know, he's having trouble with the puck. He's put under pressure, and that can lead to some bad things against the RoadRunner squad. No harm, no foul there, aside from an offside. Off the faceoff, the Wildcats have this one, send it in deep. Trying to hold the zone is Yeager. He tried to go down the wall, looking for Lazarus. Renneker sealed it off and plays it forward, looking for Maver. Nice recovery here by Yeager. He'll chip this one along into the neutral ice at Karams. Having to tag up on a delayed offside are the runners. This is Oakley. Rather, that was Kosmeski leaving this one along for Lazarus. Lazarus gets around one. That was Maver. Now Lazarus around another. Stood up there. This was Albrecht on the rush, I should say, as Jack Kelly is ridden off it here. Lazarus tied up. No penalty upcoming here, as down to the ice went a couple of guys. Nice stick here by Yeager to keep Topeka from entering the zone cleanly, as trying to take this one away was Albrecht. Sutter won that battle along the boards. This goes in and out of the glove of Shaw. Goes away to the far side glass. Albrecht cherry picking for a home run pass that was not forthcoming, as this is Lazarus giving it back into some space in his own zone for Shane Kosmeski. Kosmeski banks it off the wall. Kelly, first of this one here, has his pocket picked by Colin Staub, fresh from the bench. We played 2 minutes and 15 seconds in the second period. 1-1 the score here from the K. Yeager Coliseum, as this is Colin Staub and Eric Yeager trying to work this one up the ice. Staub in front of his own bench will swing this one in deep. Tomek out of his crease to move this one along. Some pressure coming in the form of Reisinger on the forecheck. Apap trying to hold the zone here. Squirts past the stick of Beaulieu. To the far side it goes. Chernyuk towards the net. That hit Austin Beaulieu in the skate as it was going by. As this is picked up and brought forward by Willie Brown. Brown, shot, steered aside there. Rebound. Nobody home on the back door. Played towards the net. Intercepted here by Townsend, who gives this one along for Beaulieu. Beaulieu looks to put on the brakes here, looking for a pass. Cross ice. It's Chernyuk, rather Apap in stride. Apap has some trouble with it. He'll play it back for Townsend on a release valve play. Pass intercepted. Hikosaka walks forward. High slot. Hikosaka toe drag. Backhand in front, and it skitters just wide as he couldn't corral it back onto his forehand. Down low for Norris. Hook towards the middle. Shot, scores. It's Strong. Chernyuk wasn't to the puck quick enough. It was hooked towards the middle, and Cam Strong gives the Topeka RoadRunners a 2-1 lead. Strong scores from a pass out in front. It's 2-1, and the Wildcats in a similar situation to what we saw last night. Now, we'll see how they respond. That should be Strong's goal, his 11th of the year, as it looks like the Wildcats were going to be able to get away with that one. Now it's chipped towards the corner. Falconer will go in after this one as Brickley rides him into the wall. First of it, there is Fernsler. His pass intercepted here as the Wildcats spiked this one back in deep. Cook did so as Subri tags up. Subri can't swat this one out of midair. Strong left it behind in the neutral zone here. Subri ties his man up, but gaining the zone anyway are the RoadRunners. Nice play there by Matt Cook to keep them from sprinting past him. Laid off to the near side, hoping for it was Falconer. It's intercepted. Strong walks it forward, circles shot as that one sees his stick break, and the shot went away to the corner. Matt Cook will pick this one up. Nice little move there to find some space. Now up the ice. Here is Oakley. Wasn't able to corral, but he jabbed it forward and will come to the bench for a change. We played 4 minutes in this period. This is not going to be icing here, as having to hustle along into the corner was Kosmeski. Parts of a broken stick still littering the Wildcats' defensive zone. Up to the point. Brennan was able to serve this back down low into the corner. Here's Irvine stepping away from Kosmeski. Hooks up to the blue line. Here's Kelly holding slap shot, steered away there by Shaw and goes out of play. 15:38 remaining in the second period. We get the whistle here. The Wildcats are now trailing 2-1. As the goal will go to Cam Strong. It should be Strong from Fornaris. Hiko Saka did a lot of the hard work to gain the zone. He wasn't able to get a shot on net, but the Wildcats weren't able to clear the zone. As beaten on a puck battle down low was Konstantin Chernyuk. Towards the front of the net there. Quick shot by Erzowski. Blocker save by Shaw. Erzowski picks up the rebound and serves back to the point. Brennan shot tipped wide of the cage there as that was Gornall camped out in front. Now Colin Sabo races one along. Tries to get around Kelly. He does, but he'll have to take it behind the net here. Wrapped hard around to the near side. Yeager down low, but he wasn't able to hold the zone. Bringing it back forward. Here's Irvine one-on-one. Irvine in front, and he sent it wide of the cage as Shaw had the left post covered, and the net goes off its moorings. Lazarus having a coming together with Jack Kelly in the neutral zone after the fact. Now Albrecht and Kelly coming together as well. Albrecht might get a penalty for that one with 15:11 remaining in the second period. Trying to settle things down as the linesman checked. Smart officiating there. 2-1 the score in favor of the RoadRunners as the Wildcats are trying to get back on the front foot in this second period. Second periods have been so friendly to the Wildcats over the last few weeks, and really indeed over the entire course of the season. They're outscoring their opponents 55-29 in the middle frame of contests. Face-off, we'll redo it as Reneker is washed out of the draw. Probably for encroachment by Sutter, so Maver will step in. Maver can't win this face-off. Puck is sitting loose here. Bolio trying to step through some traffic, and he'll start things forward. 5 minutes played in this period. Wildcats trailing 2-1. Reisinger tries to go back towards the middle. Lost out. Can't get it back up to the wall to a teammate here as Sutter starts it forward. Reneker looking for a quick little shot. Drop pass. Shearer towards the net. Sticked away there by Shaw and knocked onto the stick of Townsend. Townsend loses out in the corner, however. 14:45 remaining in the second period. Maver in the left wing corner trying to walk towards the middle. Intercepted, and Chernyuk plays this ahead. He was hoping for APAP. Skittered off his blade. Second attempt. APAP plays this one into the offensive zone and sits on the bench for a change. Subri, Oakley, and Falconer come out here for the Wildcats. Sutter banks this one off the glass. Knight intercepts. Cook in the neutral zone. Led it along here for Subri as Oakley to his right. Here is Subri. He flubbed his pass. He's able to hold the zone. Finds Oakley. Waits for someone to go to the net. Into the corner it goes. Falconer will take this one and skate all the way down along the goal line. Below the net, this is Subri looking to hook out in front, all the way around in front. Puck still loose. Subri shot, and it goes wide of the cage. Oakley trying to hold things in the offensive zone. He did so momentarily, but now Scherer works this one onto his blade and will look to start up the ice. Here is Will Scherer. Slaps it off the boards. Cook intercepts, leads it softly ahead for Litviak. Litviak, onside play. Holding, quick shot, save, rebound. Puck is loose, pops up into the air and gets knocked towards the corner. Scherzen explodes into his man Brickley. That frees up the puck. Behind the net at Karams. It's picked up by Scherer. Back off to the far side it goes. Litviak trying to intercept here. Poland has it and plays this one up and out of play. Where will they put the face off? It'll stay down low. They'll allow the change. They said it was deflected, so the referee down low closer to the play, overruling his linesman's score. 13:33 remains in the second period. 2-1, Topeka leading on the strength of a Cam Strong goal. 3:10 into this middle frame. Face-off will be to the right of Matej Tomek. Farmer will take the draw out there with Litviak and Sherazin. Kosmeski and Yeager manning the blue line right now for the Cats as this is rolled up towards that blue line, but Kosmeski will take this one, plays it towards the net, wide of the cage, unable to get a stick on it coming out of the corner was Sherazin. Down low, now works its way up to the near side half wall. 13:20 remaining in the second. Trying to dig it loose was Sherazin. He jabbed at it a little too far as Brickley will float this one up ahead. Fernsler banks this along for Cam Strong. Banked farther along once more. Topeka loving that bank play right now as they're banking it into some space for a mate to step onto. Into the offensive zone and losing out was Cam Strong. Yeager worked over a little bit here as the Wildcats starting up a rush. 4-on-3. Litviak floats it wide into the corner. It goes. Hayes tied up here by Kosmeski. Sherazin goes down awkwardly in the corner. Litviak strong on his skates trying to protect the puck. Here's Nikita Litviak in the far side corner. Kosmeski towards the net. Flub there. He had his stick canceled out as stepping forward, but we're going to get a whistle here. A hand pass. 12:41 remains in this second period. Too many men on the ice. No signal from the referee quite yet, but it looks like it's going to be too many men on the ice against the RoadRunners as Lutz will skate over to the box, and the Wildcats look like they're going to be on the power play for the second time this evening. Faceoff will come to the right of Tomek. The Wildcats 0 for 1 on the man advantage thus far. They did score right after it expired, however, or 8 seconds after it expired to be precise. Flashing the call, or rather too many men on the ice, the call against the RoadRunners being served by Lutz. Off the faceoff, Staub hacks at it. Was he able to get it up to the point? He did exactly that. This is Bolio looking to step inside Sutter. Into the corner it goes. Staub settles, has some trouble there, and he'll muscle it along for Austin Bolio. Nice pass as he finds Cam Knight. Knight, back door, and it tipped just wide as it was a man on the far side, Apap, trying to get a stick to it. Ladled softly around. Bolio goes to meet it in the far side corner. Tries to leave it along there for Staub. Worked up to Cam Knight instead. Swung back to Bolio at the half wall. Bolio, Staub in front for Apap, and it was on his offhand. A right-handed shot has a great look at that one. Instead, it's Apap in the corner. Now it's Townsend holding and trading places with Apap. Townsend in the corner. Passes up to Knight. Now it's Staub. Quick shot blocked in front. Rebound. Corralled here by Austin Bolio. Bolio into the corner. He's walled off it there. First to it will be Apap. Apap protects. Looks to chip it up towards the corner. Here is Bolio. Shaken down low for Apap once more. Here is Tommy Apap. Looks to go back for Colin Staub. This is going to be cleared all the way down by Brickley. Cam Knight trying to let the Wildcats get back on side and does. Here is Knight. His shot partially canceled out there by Brickley. Goes away to the glass. Camped out in front is Sherazin, and it skipped over his stick as it caromed out in front. 11:20 remaining in the second period. 40 seconds remaining in the Wildcats power play. Their second of the night. On the year, they are 33 of 133. Matt Cook gets around Cam Strong and gains a zone. Here is Cook. He'll play this one towards the corner. Farmer had some trouble keeping his skates here. Flubbing the breakout, or the clearing pass was Scherer. This is Litviak on the power play, looking for somewhere to go with it. Played it towards Matt Cook, too far from him. That's a waste of possession there, and Cook has to chase this one back. Has some trouble with it there. Fernsler plays this one in. If he had known Strong was behind him, Strong might have had a shorthanded opportunity. 10 seconds remaining in the Wildcats power play. Farmer will motor this one along. Here is Farmer. He'll get to the blue line and play it in deep as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey here. Again, good puck movement and good possession, but the Wildcats not able to make that pay. Nice play here by Litviak on the back check to keep Topeka from sprinting away. Here is Yeager. Hooked out in front there. Sherazin was waiting. Clearing it away was Scherer. Rather, it was Poland. Bouncing puck. Corralled by Sherazin towards the net. Save there. Rebound is just away from Falconer and Lazarus both as they both crash down on the blue paint. Sent down low. This will come up short of icing here. Chernyuk the first to it. Ryers it hard around to the far side. Albrecht might be behind the Topeka defense. Here is Albrecht. Tied up by Brickley. He'll maintain possession. Albrecht goes down, loses an edge below the goal line. Falconer down there as well, trying to take it away from Luka Maver, as this is on the stick of Hayes. He cleared only as far as Chernyuk, just outside the blue line. Settling it down in the neutral zone is Lazarus. He'll curl right back up the ice. His hard pass was behind everybody with 9:45 remaining in the second period. Sutter up ahead. Renneker on a second attempt will try to play this in deep. Lazarus forces it farther out. Third chance into the zone comes Topeka. Townsend will be the first to it as it caromed off the high glass. Lazarus settles nicely, feeds Cherniak in stride, who brings it back to the near side for Falconer. Now it's Falconer. It's Albrecht. Played cross ice. Cherniak can't right his feet and hooks it below the goal line. Albrecht towards the middle. Cherniak jabs at it, and he wasn't able to clear. Haven't seen Staub in a little bit here. We'll keep an eye on that as this is worked up ahead. Good step there. That was Apap who was filling in at the blue line for Cherniak as he was able to disrupt that play. We tick towards 9 minutes remaining in the second. The Wildcats trailing 2-1 on a Cam Strong goal. Just 3:10 into this second period. Softly towards the net. Shaw will move this one along as Cherniak gets it up to Austin Bolio. Here is Austin Bolio. He'll wire this hard around the boards. To the near side, into the corner it comes. Reisinger goes below the goal line with it. Apap. Now it's Reisinger. Goes back down into the corner for Apap. Apap trying to walk free up to the point. Here's Yeager protecting towards the net. Cut out there. That was Hiko Saka on the intercept. Reisinger plays this one in. Getting in the way was the linesman's skate. Trying to step forward was Fernsler, and Yeager will just force him into the corner. Nice defensive play there by Eric Yeager, the Coeur d'Alene, Idaho native. Nice little chip along for Kuzmeski as the Wildcats will start up a breakout. Austin Bolio put under some pressure here, but Yeager steps along. Here's Eric Yeager gaining the zone at the left wing side. Yeager through the middle. Reisinger settles. Quick shot blocked there as Sherazin is fresh from the bench. He's back on the back check. Fernsler gaining the zone for Topeka. Holding. Quick shot blocked down in front. Loose puck. It's picked up by Sherazin. 8 minutes remaining in the second. End to end we go. Sherazin around one man. Tries to get around Poland. Puts on the brakes and waits for reinforcements. Tries to chip it up for Litviak. It was intercepted. Now Fornaris starts forward. Here is Fornaris. Sticked away, but a shot blocked there and knifed away to the glass. Great pace. Up and down the ice we go as the two top teams in the South Division are trading body blows. Here is Farmer. On his backhand goes up high and gets the glass. Someone got his stick in the way. Litviak chips it towards the corner. Sherazin will hustle in to meet it there. Walled off by Hiko Saka. To the far side it goes. Brickley up along. Almost intercepted here by the Wildcats. Litviak in the neutral zone. He'll play this one along. Sherazin walks in. Brickley in front of him. Sherazin tries to chip it towards the middle. Karam's right back to him. Off the skate of Litviak. It Karam's to the near side where Stav will try to pull it free. He lost out. On the backhand, Irvine accepts. 7:10 remaining in the second period. Here's Irvine. Can't get around Matt Cook. To the corner, it's taken by Lutz. Cam Knight, the birthday boy, will swat this one along. First to it here, though, is Irvine once more. Rather, Willie Brown towards the middle. Weak little shot is covered up. And we'll get the first whistle in about the last 6 or 7 minutes. 6:57 remaining in the second. The Wildcats are trailing 2-1. Up and down the ice we go in an even second period here from the KYC. The only place that this contest is not even right now is in the goal column. By the way, we should mention that Colin Staub is out there waiting for the draw. Tonight is Colin's 150th game all-time for the Wildcats. He is 4th all-time in career games for Wichita Falls in his 3rd year here with the Wildcats. By the way, as we are in the midst of this stoppage here, Scott Langer having a lengthy discussion with the referee, Brody Cundy. Not quite sure about what. It's been a pretty clean contest thus far. And Cundy, the referee from last evening, done a pretty good job all weekend long in this broadcaster's estimation. Up and down the ice we're going here at the KYC. We're in a little stoppage here, as now LaFontaine is going to get a quick word from Cundy. Out there for the Wildcats is Lazarus, Staub, Albrecht, Townsend, and Cherniak. And that unit of Staub, Lazarus, and Albrecht is really giving credence to Coach LaFontaine's statement that Colin Staub makes everybody a little bit better around him, as Albrecht and Lazarus have both enjoyed strong spells in the last 3 or 4 games that they played with Staub. Off to the right of Shaw. Quick shot by Sutter. That goes wide. Renneker first to it here. Chips it back down low. Maver trying to beat Townsend there. Townsend thrown into the ditch, but it's picked up here by Staub. Now it's Lazarus. He'll bring it up all the way ahead as Albrecht gains his own with a step. Here's Albrecht. Hooks it out towards the front. Jabbed at it there. Where's the puck? It's loose on the stick of Jack Kelly at the side of the cage of Tomek. Kelly settles things down. Staub camped out in front. Almost lost the puck there to Colin Staub. He recorralled and got it along for Brennan. Skitters off the blade of Maver there. He's ridden off it in the neutral zone. Townsend chips pass. Can't corral it again. On a second effort, Sutter looks to step forward. Here is Sutter. Shot gloved there by Shaw. He'll hold on. 6:17 remaining in the second period. Wildcats are trailing 2-1, and it was about this time last night that they started to turn things on. They scored 3 unanswered in the final 2:45 of the second stanza last night. Coach Fontaine not happy with something in that last sequence or so. Either way, as we'll head to a media timeout, that'll offer us the opportunity to remind you that next Saturday's game, which is Jersey Off Our Back Night to benefit Children's Miracle Network, reminder, that game will be at 5 p.m. That is 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 on the East Coast, and a 3 p.m. matinee start out west. That will be moved up 2 hours from the customary 7:05 start to accommodate the Jersey Off Our Back auction the next night. And this is only my second year with the Wildcats, but it became immediately clear to me, even in my first season, how important this organization takes Children's Miracle Network. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year. It's the one that we are certainly the most proud of. Over $500,000 have been raised by the Wildcats and their predecessors, the Wichita Falls Rustlers, since the start of Jersey Off Our Back Night in 2002-2003. And the best part, folks, all of that money stays right here in Wichita Falls and goes to support the efforts of CMN, Children's Miracle Network, at United Regional Healthcare System. That'll be next weekend when the Wildcats will don those custom edition jerseys. And the auction will follow Saturday night's contest. Stuff will be to the right of Shaw here as we come out of immediate timeout. Gornall to take the draw against Falconer. Face off, controlled here by Suber. He has some trouble with it. Cook will protect for a second and skates out the other side. Cook needs a passing lane, none forthcoming yet. On a second attempt, this is Falconer playing this all the way around. First to it here is Brickley. Oakley muscled off it. Knight towards the net. Someone got a stick in the way as that floats up and is gloved down and started back forward. Gornall chips it in towards the corner. He was looking for Matt Cook. Someone lost a glove there. I think it was Gornall as this is started forward by Subri. His pass through the middle of the ice. That was intercepted through a couple of legs. Back in his own zone is Oakley, and he'll play this into some space. Nobody there. Left behind at the blue line. Jabbing at it is Knight. He can't clear the zone. Cook hustles along to this one. Turned over, trying to dig it loose, and doing so, here's Topeka. This is Willie Brown, up to the blue line. Here is Poland, holding, shot, wide of the cage, rebound on the back door. It's covered by Shaw. 5:23 remaining in the second. Unnecessary pressure absorbed there by the Wildcats after it was thrown into some space where there wasn't a Wildcat within 10 feet. That allowed Topeka to hold the zone. Wildcats almost got caught running around, but no harm, no foul. 5:23 remaining in the second period as the faceoff is to the left of Austin Shaw. The Cats trail 2-1. Faceoff will be held up a moment. Apap washed out of the draw. Bolio looking to step in and win this one back for the Wildcats. Now encroaching is Lutz on the far side. Faceoff is won by Bolio. Reisinger picks this one up, wheels behind the cage of Austin Shaw. His pass up the ice. He was hoping for Bolio. It was behind him, so back comes Topeka. Blown in wide of the cage of Shaw. Hacking at it there is Yeager. Loose puck in the near side half wall. It finally squirts free for Austin Bolio, one-on-one. Here's Bolio loading a shot. Toe save, and there on the rebound was Hiko Saka. Back towards the net. Tipped there by Bolio, and he wasn't able to get it on cage. Bolio ridden off here by Poland in the near side corner. Works free for Apap. Here is Apap. Spins it into the corner for Bolio once more. Banks off the wall. He was hoping for Yeager top of the zone. Instead, Lutz sealed off here, but stepping forward, here's Willie Brown. As Scherer gains the front of the net. Played in front there, and it skipped over the blade of Cam Strong. Rather, Poland on the back door. Lutz has it spiked away from him. Yeager rides off the forecheck and will serve this back behind for Kosmeski, who gave it right along for Yeager. Yeager up ahead. Bolio has some trouble with it here. He'll flip this one along. Kelly was able to keep this one away from a Wildcat skater as this is played softly down the ice. Trying to hustle onto this one is Fernsler. That's off the glass and goes out of play from the stick of Kosmeski. 4:14 remaining in the second period, and the Wildcats will have to deal with a face-off in the defensive zone. Coming to the left of Austin Shaw. Topeka has had the better of the looks in this second period. Tomek has not had a whole lot to do even on the Wildcats power play a few minutes ago, or more like 10 minutes ago. They had a lot of possession and some good puck movement, but they weren't able to get anything on Tomek that really troubled them. Face-off, one forward here. It's kicked up to the point. Brennan, one-timer, flashes wide of the cage. Fernsler follows up, forced to play it towards the corner. Cameron's behind the net. Townsend ridden off there by Strong. First to it here will be Carlos Fornares. Here's Fornares, floated towards the middle there for Fernsler, and taking him off it with Sheridan. Puck loose here as it's played towards the net. On a quick little spinorama from the circle, Shaw was equal to the task. 3:55 remaining in the second period, and the Wildcats still trailing 2-1 as they're trying to find a solution to the question that is Matej Tomek right now. 16 shots on goal for the Wildcats, although we must say that there's been far fewer good looks for both teams tonight than there were last night. Both teams seems like they're making a concerted effort to tighten up defensively. Off the face-off, it's picked up here by Lazarus, given quickly along for Chernyuk, who banks this one along, hoping for Albrecht. Albrecht motors it ahead. It was gloved down there by Jack Kelly, as this is Chernyuk fanning on it, but working it ahead once more. Albrecht has a little bit of space now. Lazarus on the right wing. Albrecht, quick shot wide of the cage. First to it here is Lazarus. Chips it back up to the point. Here is Townsend holding on it, floats it wide of the cage. Lazarus gloves it down, tries to go backdoor for Staub, who was camped out in the circle. His pass was read and intercepted. It's on the stick of Sutter now in the neutral zone for Topeka. Sutter walks in, shot well wide of the cage. Stepping onto this one here is Colin Staub. Can't play this down the ice, but it's hooked into some space where Maver intercepts. Nice play there by Chernyuk to disrupt play. Played towards the cage of Shaw. He'll stick this one back into play for Jake Townsend. Headman pass. Here's Bolio. Is he able to get there? No. And that will go for icing here, just ahead of Austin Bolio, who might have had a little bit of a break from the blue line in. 3:04 remaining in the second. Townsend got his head up. He heard the call as Bolio was fresh from the bench. Or I believe it was Lazarus or Albrecht who had just gotten off the ice. Either way, the Wildcats have a defensive zone draw to the left of Shaw with 3:04 remaining in the second. Trailing 2-1 here. Face-off, jab towards the middle, but it's picked up by Lazarus, and getting to the blue line, or now the red line, was Bolio. That allows Staub, Townsend, and Chernyuk to change up here for the Wildcats as Apap steps out there with Reisinger, Cam Knight, and Matt Cook. In front of the Wildcats bench area, served into the corner by Bolio. Apap looks to feed towards the middle where Falconer waits. Hooked out in front there looking for Bolio. Banked off the side of the cage and away from Austin it went. Played back towards the middle of the ice. First to it here and looking to skate it forward. Here is Gornall. Runs through Matt Cook there. Lost the puck though. Orzowski up to the blue line. Skipped over the stick of Hayes. Hayes back along to the near side. Brickley just outside the blue line. Tries to dump it in deep. Caroms off a stick. Matt Cook reaches this one ahead of, that was Orzowski. On a delayed offside, Topeka tags up. First of this one here is Matt Cook. Left it quickly along there for Cam Knight, who floats it up to Alex Falconer. Falconer settles nicely, trying to find a teammate there, but it's spun all the way in by Gornall in the last 2 minutes of the second period. Here is Matt Cook. Floats it all the way down the ice. Having some trouble with it there, and taking his man down was Poland. Litviak went down to the ice. It would have been a 2-on-1 if he hadn't been tripped up, and we'll get the whistle. The Wildcats will head to the power play for the third time this evening, as that one skipped over the stick of Poland, and then as he reached behind him, he tangled up with Litviak, and we'll get the whistle. Wildcats 0 for 2 on the man advantage tonight. Maybe the third time's a charm. If it is, it would tie this game up at 2 goals apiece. Topeka is 23-1-1 when leading after 2 periods of play. So, as I mentioned last night, it's obviously in the Cats' best interest to have this one level up heading into the break. Farmer, here's Yeager, loading, shot, doesn't get all the way through here, and it's sent all the way down the ice as Litviak and Brennan will detangle themselves. Shaw put under some pressure here, but he got it along for Matt Cook, as Cook will start this one slowly up the ice. Pass, Farmer jabbed it out of midair. Litviak looks to go down low. It's intercepted, but he'll glove it down at the point, and we'll get a whistle for a hand pass here against the Wildcats. So that will freeze play with 1:28 remaining in the second. Stick around in the second intermission, which is just 1:28 seconds away, as we'll revisit last night's 7-4 win. Wildcats are needing a little bit of the second period magic tonight that they showed last night and the last few games, as they're trailing 2-1. are on the power play, though, for the next minute 35, but they're forced to change this one all the way back as Matt Cook will meet this in the corner. 2 minutes for hooking is Poland at 18:08 of this frame. To the near side, Farmer tries to corral, walks in front, Farmer, puck is loose, here's Litviak. He'll chip it up to the point. Cook settles and holds. Litviak in the circle, holding on it. Litviak still back up to the blue line. Here's Matt Cook, shot towards the net. Puck loose, they score! It's Farmer again in front of the net, and the Wildcats tie it up on a power play tally. Simply sensational in the second period are the Wildcats. They get a power play tally. It's Nick Farmer in front, and it's 2-2. Important goal. It was sitting right there. Tomek made the initial save. I don't know how much he saw about it. As we see the replay here, it was played by Litviak up to Cook. Cook shot. It hit him in the right pad, and as we're back to play here, it hit him in the right pad. He wasn't ready for it. It spilled right to Farmer, and Nick, with a nose for the net, tucked that one home. Now, in the last minute of play, it's a turnover, and a shot goes high and gets the glass. Holding it in, played towards the net there by Brickley. Lutz and Willie Brown were there waiting for a deflection. That did not come. This flipped all the way down the ice. Comes up short of icing here as Brickley is under some pressure on the forecheck. This is Colin Staub looking to play this back into the corner, but it's kicked away from him. He fished it free. Here's Staub. Backdoor Lazarus. Toe drag shot. Puck loose there, and Albrecht couldn't get a stick to it here. Townsend into the corner. Albrecht looking to play a pass. He'll spin it into the corner once more. Staub upended. Hook towards the net. To the far side it goes. 15 seconds remaining. Albrecht towards the net. Puck loose. Swatted away from danger. Albrecht back towards the net again. Townsend. 10 seconds remaining. Slap shot. Saved there by Tomek. 5 seconds in the second period. Played towards the net. Behind the cage. Hook towards the middle. And that'll do it with 2 seconds. And now the horn goes as Townsend's one-timer is saved by Tomek. It wouldn't have counted anyway. 40 minutes in the books, and how important is that power play goal from Farmer going to be? It is his 14th tally of the season as Nick Farmer is continuing his red-hot play. 40 minutes in the books, 20 more still to play. 2-2, nothing to separate these two teams here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Don't go anywhere. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the intermission report. We'll revisit last night's 7-4 win over these RoadRunners, and we'll take a look at what's going on outside of Wichita Falls on the Jerry's Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard. All that is coming your way on the other side of the break as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will continue just after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back at the K. Yeager Coliseum, Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. We're through 40 minutes of action as we're in the second intermission. Wildcats 2, RoadRunners 2. Topeka has taken a 1-goal lead twice in this contest. Both times the Wildcats have answered back. Most recently, it was a late power play goal from Nick Farmer at 18:59 of the frame to tie this one up at 2 goals apiece. On some nice puck movement from the right wing circle to the top of the zone. Cook didn't have a pass, so he said, forget it, I'll play it on net. It was a toe save by Tomek, but he couldn't corral the rebound. He saw it late. I think that was the key factor. He saw it very late and wasn't able to direct the rebound where he wanted to. So the end result saw it land right on the stick of Nick Farmer, who was able to flip it either over the pad or just around the skate of Tomek for goal number 13 on the year, rather goal number 14 on the year for Farmer. This, by the way, for Nick, now that he has a goal and an assist, because he assisted on Sherazan's. For Nick Farmer, this is now 5 straight multi-point games for him. He has 3 points in 3 of his last 4 contests, and he's got another 20 minutes to get a third point to give the Wildcats a shot at maybe, just maybe, taking 2 points here this evening. Wildcats were leading heading into the third period last night thanks to a late surge in the second period. They had a surge late on in this second period as well, not quite as pronounced, but we'll have to wait and see what the end result of that one is. We do know what the end result from last night was, but we're still going to go back and revisit that 7-4 win over Topeka from last evening. About set to go. Shaw in the cage to my right, Tomek in the cage to my left. Cundy will bring Gornall and Apap together. As the puck is down, we are underway in the first period, brought to you by American Classified, as all eyes in the South Division are on this one here tonight. As Townsend. Quick shot scores! Townsend sniped the far side corner, and the Wildcats lead. Townsend is on fire right now. That is goal number 6 on the year for Jake. That is his 7th point in the last 5 games and his 6th in the last 4. Apap, it's onto the stick of Reisinger. Here is Reisinger, forced to his backhand here. Drop pass looking for Apap. Knight, one-timer, blocked there. Loose puck in front. Puck is still loose. Polio can't corral. They'll dig for it. It's loose for Reisinger. Shot blocked. Rebound. It's spiked away from danger and cleared all the way down. Big point-blank save there by Tomek. Face up, one back to the point. Wanting a big one-timer there was O'Connor. Instead, he's forced to play this one to the wall. Held in there by Topeka momentarily. Now Sherazan out on a second attempt. Topeka still holds his own. Fed back to Brennan, holding on his shot. They score. It was tipped in front. The Wildcats do it again. They had it at the blue line. They couldn't clear, and they give Topeka a scoring opportunity that they capitalize on. As Staub is able to escape the zone. Here is Colin Staub. His pass along for Knight. Shot scores! No, it hit the post and didn't go. That was Lazarus with the effort. I beg your pardon. Falconer. Can he step onto this one? Here's Falconer on his backhander! And a toe save there by Tomek. Falconer couldn't get it to settle and pull the trigger. Cook, cross ice, worked its way along for Lazarus. After it, as Sherazan is involved as well. Kicked away from him, but Sherazan can't go up to the point quite yet. Lazarus, up the wall, he'll go. Townsend flings it towards the net. All alone in front, Sherazan missed the net. Sherazan and Lazarus were both standing at the top of the crease, and Sherazan missed the net from 4 feet away. Polio tries to clear, couldn't do so. Held in at the point by Poland, and now on a second attempt. Now it's a foot race. Apap hustling back, trying to beat Erzowski. Apap in front, and Tomek with a toe save there as Erzowski did just enough. Into the corner. He'll get it back top of the zone. One-timer goes high and gets the glass. Fornaris fields it and pulls it from the left wing point. Holding on this one is Irvine. Gives it to Fornaris. Fornaris steps on the wall. Backdoor pass, they score. Left all alone was Erzowski. A power play goal for Topeka. The Cats fall asleep, and they trail 2-1. Here is Cam Knight. Fly this one up the ice, hoping for a teammate there. As this is O'Connor in his own zone, put under Albrecht, but he spun it away from danger. Albrecht tags up. On. Albrecht took it off his man in the slot. Now Lazarus sprinting forward. Here is Lazarus hooking it back. It's Albrecht the shot. Save puck loose. They score. It was sitting at the goal line. Collins stopped. An immediate response. And it's 2-2. Tomek steps out of his crease to play this one there. Put under pressure by Sharazin. Up to the near side wall. Orzowski chips it into some space as the runners look to move forward with a head full of steam. Here's Hayes. Drop pass. Fernsler's shot, rather. Orzowski gloved down there by Shaw. Squibs out of his catching glove here. Someone is without a stick. It was a Topeka man shot. Oh, they scored. They scored. It nestled into the top corner. Emphatic with the call was Cundy. You can see it from up here. It definitely went in. Shaw is protesting, but Topeka scores right away. It's Apap on his backhand in front. Puck loose there, and Reisinger couldn't pull the trigger. Hit a couple of guys on their off hands. Bolio and Reisinger. Now a stretch pass. Onside play. Willie Brown jabs at it. Kosmeski swats it away. Willie Brown hooks towards the front of the net. Works its way along for Reisinger. He'll jab at this one and play this up ahead. Wasn't able to find a teammate here as Renneker will skate back. Put under pressure here as Sharazin will take it below the goal line. Sharazin bouncing puck towards the front of the net, trying to jab at it. Here's Farmer, hooked in front, they score! Sharazin, redemption for the missed chance earlier. It's 3-3. Farmer won the loose puck. He dug it loose on the forecheck, hooked it towards the middle, and Sharazin wasn't going to miss from there a second time. Level begging here. This one to the left of the cage of Shaw. Cook fends off the check here. The Wildcats will look to start up ahead. Right. Here is Farmer. Quick shot. Oh, he scored! He scored! A shot from distance. Handcuffed Tomek. Off the post and in, and the Cats lead once more. Sharazin turnaround shot blocked. Farmer. He'll take this to the left wing half wall. Shot saved there. Rebound, and it skipped over the blade of Falconer. Farmer trying to hold the zone on the far side half wall. He did momentarily. Here's Falconer holding. Shot, scores! Falconer! 5-3. Welcome back from injury, Falconer. 2 games, 2 goals since coming back, and the Wildcats stretch their edge. Townsend slowing things down. His pass dangerous, almost intercepted, but it's worked forward by Chernyuk. Here is Stop, left circle, drops his shoulder towards the front. In front, they score! Collins stopped, dipsy doodle, feed it to the middle, and Lazarus buries it 6-3. We've seen that before from that unit. Think back to Amarillo last Friday evening. It was a great rush by Staub. That's career point 99 for Colin. We'll play this one along. Orzowski. His pass. It was intercepted as Farmer banks this one along for Cook. Still a lot of hockey left in this game, though. The Wildcats against a team as potent as Topeka. Here's a quick backdoor pass. Gornall shot, scores! Just as I was saying, this game is not over. Gornall pulls one back. It's 6-4. Falconer out there along with Subri and Lazarus. This is the aforementioned Lazarus sweeping this one off the glass and down. Subri jabs it away from the blue line. Sent in deep there by Brigley on the cage of Shaw, and he'll direct this one away. Skittering puck here, left behind. Here's Lazarus. Lazarus at the circle, toe drag, backhander. Lazarus scores! Oh my word! Johnny on the spot is Lazarus. It's 7-4 Cats. Brilliant individual effort there by Lazarus. He got the goaltender down on his belly. Oh, a toe drag move there on his backhand. Shot fake to his backhand. Throw it up top shelf. 7-4, his second of the night. 10 seconds remaining in the third. Wildcats leading 7-4. First place Topeka is going to fall to their 5th straight road loss. Gornall holding on it. One last shot directed away by Staub. And there's the horn. First place Topeka upended in the KYC for the third time running as the Wildcats pick up the 7-4 win in night one of this crucial two-game set here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Up a win in night one. Will they be able to pick up a win in night two? Well, we got 20 minutes of hockey left to find that out, and if nothing separates the two teams, maybe, just maybe, a 5-minute sudden death overtime period. A lot of 20 minutes of hockey to get to before we can even consider that, however, as right now we'll take a look at the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard as it has gone final in Johnstown, 2-0. Springfield Junior Blues pick up a road win in central Pennsylvania as that one has just concluded in Johnstown. Michigan winds up losing 8-3. They cut it from 6-2 to 6-3. And then Janesville, just to remind them who the boss of that division is, throws up a couple of more. That is 8-3 in favor of the Jets, and that marks the 6th loss in a row to Janesville by the Michigan Warriors. Wilderness on the road in Wisconsin taking on the Cooley Region Chill. 2-1 the score in favor of the guys from Minnesota in that one. They're through 40 minutes there. They're also through 2 periods of play in Austin, Minnesota. 2-1 the Bruins leading over the Minot Minotauros. Bruins looking for a little bit of redemption after a road loss or a home loss last night on a shootout, 4-3. In Bismarck, it is 3-2. Bobcats still holding the edge over the Brookings Blizzard. And they have about 2 minutes remaining in the second period in that one. Aberdeen now up 4-0 over the Minnesota Magicians. The Magicians picked up a solid win last night. 3-1 was the score. That was just their 3rd win in the last 19 games. But Aberdeen, who are at home, are struggling along for wins in their home barn, the Ode Ice Center. Looks like they might be tracking towards just their 6th home win of the season. They're 5-12-1 entering tonight, rather 5-13-1 at home after last evening. Later on this evening, Fairbanks will host the Kenai River Brown Bears. Kenai in a bit of a bad way. They lost 6-1 last night. They have not won a single game since November the 28th. That opened up a 13-game road trip. It's the last game of the road trip right now, and it cannot end soon enough if you're a Brown Bears player, staff member, or fan. 1-9-2 on that road trip. Our Kenai River, that has seen them plummet back to the bottom of the Midwest standings as a result. That'll get underway a little later on. Around the South Division in Rio Grande Valley, 2-1, the Bulls have taken a lead with 8:39 remaining in that second period, trying to salvage a split out of that one. In North Richland Hills, the Brahmas now up 2-0 over Wenatchee. They're about halfway through the second period in that one as well. They're in the second intermission in Corpus Christi at the American Bank Center, 3-2. The score in favor of the Jackalopes. How about that? Looking to hand the Ice Rays just their 3rd home loss of the season. And obviously, that would be a big one for Odessa, who continues to struggle along with life on the road. Odessa on the year continues to struggle. As I mentioned, they entered tonight 8-24-4. They have 3 wins in their last 10 or so games, although they have seen a little bit of a boost since Tanner Creel joined after leaving the United States Military Academy. That'll wrap it up, though, on the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard, and that will conclude our intermission report. We'll step aside. When we come back, we will have the 3rd period of action. Will it be a decisive one? Stick around and find out. Wildcats Hockey, presented by Armored Roofing, will continue after this on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. 30 minutes of hockey has given us nothing to separate these two teams. Will the next 20 minutes be decisive? That's the big question that we're waiting to find an answer for. Wildcats and RoadRunners deadlocked 2 goals apiece as we enter the third period. Nick Farmer got a late power play tally to tie things up for the Wildcats. Shaw in the cage to my right. He has made 17 saves on 19 shots. Tomek in the cage to my left. He has made 20 saves on 22 shots faced. Cats skating from right to left, P to Q across your keyboard. Coming back the other way are the Roadrunners. We'll skate 5-on-5 to start off this third period of action. Looks like it'll be Cook and Knight. Start out there with Farmer, Litviak, and Kevin Sherizin. This line has done the damage tonight. Even strength goal just after a power play expired for Sherizin, plus a power play tally for Farmer. As these guys are ready to go here as Fernsler and Farmer take the draw, and off the faceoff, we're underway. Walking it forward, here's Fornaris. Quick shot blocked there. That was a good block by Matt Cook to get himself in the way. Farmer kicks this one along, but turned it over. Strong looks to play it for Fornaris. It was intercepted here. Playing all the way down the ice, and we'll get an icing call 17 seconds into this third period. A reminder, this third period brought to you by American Classified, as every period of play is this season for the Wildcats. Face-off will be to the right of Shaw, as the unit of Sherizin, Litviak, and Farmer has to stay out there after the icing whistle. Face-off won by the Wildcats. Sherizin looked to hook it back, had a skate in front, hacked away there, played towards the net. It's loose at the top of the crease, hooking it free. Shot saved by Shaw, and no cover. Oh my, what a scramble. The clearing attempt after a clean face-off win, hit off a skate or a leg, popped up into the air, created some mayhem. Gornall was able to take it away from a scrum below the hash marks. He turned and fired on Shaw, and Shaw got just enough of it with a crook of his arm and was able to cover up the rebound. Gornall and Orzowski bidding for a third goal for Topeka and a third 1-goal lead for the Roadrunners. This one floats high up into the air. Kelly will glove this one down and is forced to run back a little bit farther with it. Along for Brennan. This playing all the way down. No icing here. It's waved off. First to it. Kosmeski pressed hard into the wall and is dispossessed. Reniker hooked towards the middle. Sutter's shot goes wide of the cage as he'd worked his way above the hash marks into the slot. Trying to jab it free there was Kosmeski. He left it behind. Puck is loose, but Yeager picks it up and chipped it along for Albrecht. Albrecht looks to feed a pass through the middle. Here's Apap. Apap shot save. Rebound. It's loose and it's overskated by Albrecht as he was trying to tee it up on his forehand. We played just over a minute in this third period. 2-2 the score. Peeling off after dumping in are the Roadrunners as Yuhiko Saka starts up a forecheck fresh from the bench on a change. It's worked along. Here is Townsend over the red line now into the offensive zone. Townsend shot wide of the cage, looking to play it off to the near side. Cherniak has it. Tries to sweep towards the net. Intercepted there by Hiko Saka. Down through the middle of the ice. This is Lutz. Hooked back for Hiko Saka. Nicely disrupted here. Bolio wants it. His pass was intercepted from Apap as this is on the stick of a Roadrunner skater in their own zone. Hayes on the right side wall. Looks to play it up the ice. Off a stick. Intercepted. Townsend up ahead looking for Bolio. Bolio's trying to find some room there as this is caroming around the neutral zone. Onto the stick of Willie Brown. Walking forward, here's Cam Strong. Waiting for reinforcements. Lutz with a shot there. And that one is easily covered or steered aside by Austin Shaw. Reisinger, his pass a little hot for Oakley to handle, but Oakley will corral off the back wall. Left the puck behind. Oakley plays it towards the corner. First of this one here as we're in a little bit of a line shuffle here. Reisinger out there with Staub and Evan Oakley right now. We'll see if that continues. Racing forward, here's Fernsler in transition. Fernsler tries to get around Matt Cook. Wraparound chance from Fernsler. Where's the puck? It's sitting loose at the side of the net. The Wildcats don't know where it is. It's shipped off to the far side corner. Scherer looking to play it around in front. Has it forced away from him off to the near side corner at Karams. Up to the point. Poland serves it back towards the corner. Strong the first to it there for Topeka. Left it behind. Staub the first to it for Wichita Falls as they'll play this one down. That one off the backside of Reisinger. He'll slowly settle this one back for Cam Knight, who banks this one into some space as the Cats were in the midst of a change. Herzowski gains the zone. Here's Herzowski trying to step past Nick Farmer. Farmer strong on his skates on defense as this is hooked along here. It's Brennan down low. Puck loose at the doorstep shot, and getting just a little bit of it was Shaw to force it wide. Here is Litviak now. Splits the D. Kelly upended him. Brennan was back there covering. Farmer in the neutral zone. Plays this one in deep. Off a leg. Comes up short of the end line here with 16:40 remaining in this third period. 2-2 the score. Ben Horner with you at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Through the middle of the ice, it's Gornall. Here's Gornall's shot. Floats wide of the cage. That one caught Shaw unaware. Hooked towards the top of the zone. Kelly moved it along for Brennan now. Here is Brennan. Holding shot. Flashes wide of the cage of Shaw. Up to the point for Kelly once more. He'll go into the corner. Gornall is there. Trying to protect his Gornall. Yeager hacked it away from him, but Gornall maintains. Herzowski now. Up to the blue line. It's Kelly. His one-timer goes high and gets the glass. Shaw never saw it. Brennan holds it. Here is Kelly again. Tip, puck loose in front, swatted away to the corner. Sharazin now. Softly ahead. Litviak sidesteps one. Left it behind. He'll gain the zone. Kosmeski joins him. Litviak holding Todrak in front there. Spiked away. Albrecht gloves it down and sends it wide of the cage. Penalty upcoming here. It's going to be against Topeka. Unable to hold the zone is Albrecht. Austin Shaw is to the bench for an extra attacker on the delayed penalty call. This sent down the ice. Topeka will touch up as we'll get an icing whistle, but the penalty will supersede. 15:42 remaining in this third period. Herzowski gets a penalty call here. It'll be a high sticking call to Daniel Herzowski. See where they put the face-off. The penalty should supersede the icing here. And the face-off should be all the way down low. But they're going to put this one in the neutral zone and penalize the Wildcats for icing the puck when trying to force the touch-up. Fourth power play of the night for the Wildcats. They're 1 for 3 on the man advantage. They scored on their last one as the league's leading power play unit gets to it here. Here is Bolio, ragging into some space through the middle of the ice. Chipped along. Townsend looking to skip it forward a little farther. Bolio has some trouble with it here. Cleared up the glass and out as it skipped over the blade of Cam Knight. Knight walks back into his own zone. Plays it softly ahead for Colin Staub. Staub was able to sidestep one, poke it into some space and skate onto it. Bolio, here's Apap on his backhand, and it went away from him. Now it's Townsend at the right wing half wall. Townsend plays behind the net for Apap. Apap wanting Townsend. His pass blocked by Scherer there. Apap ties up here, waiting for Townsend to sweep it along. Behind the cage, picked up by Bolio. Bolio swings to the top of the zone. Knight, now it's along for Townsend. Now it's Bolio loading a shot, carrying around, and stops. Shanked it wide, hooked in front, and Bolio sent it wide again. Played towards the middle of the ice. Not by a high stick there by Poland. It's Apap. In front is Bolio. It's here's Knight shot, and he sent it high, and the net is off its moorings. Fantastic puck movement from the Wildcats on the power play. And the only thing keeping them from having the lead on their second tally of the evening on the man advantage is not being able to hit the cage. 14:38 remaining in the third. 57 seconds remaining in the Wildcats power play. Farmer out there. This is the unit that got the goal for the Cats at the end of that second period. Washed out of the draw here is Farmer as Sharazin a little over eager. Sharazin steps into the shooting hole as Yeager will take the draw. Resetting everyone here with Schacht. Up the face-off, this is on the near side half wall. Yeager looking to hook this one into some space. Instead, it's on the stick of Gornall. He'll send it all the way down. 45 seconds remaining in the Wildcats power play. 14:25 remaining in the third as this is Matt Cook. Ahead for Nick Farmer. Here is Farmer. His shot fought off. Puck loose sitting there, and this is cleared all the way down the ice as Litviak went careening behind the net. Shaw puts the brakes on the puck here, left it for Matt Cook. 25 seconds remaining in the Cats power play as we hit 14 minutes remaining in the third period. Skipped wide of the cage of Tomek. Poland had his pocket picked. Sharazin now behind the net. It's Litviak to the far side wall. Farmer ragging down up to the middle of the blue line. Here's Cook. His shot blocked there by Cam Strong as Shaw will step out of his crease. Now retreats back and leaves this one for Matt Cook. 5 seconds remaining in the penalty to Herzowski. Wildcats looking to start the breakout here as we're back to 5-on-5. They had a good first shift and weren't able to find anything though as Sharazin walks into the middle holding his shot saved there by Tomek. Nice play by Sharazin, changed the shooting angle and used a screen, but Tomek tracked the puck. 13:35 remaining in the third period. The Wildcats and Topeka deadlocked at 2 goals apiece. As the Wildcats recognize Colin Staub for playing in his 150th game. Nice round of applause from the KYC crowd. Face off. One here by the RoadRunners. They'll send this one all the way down. Will it go for icing? No, it rolls up short as Townsend will be the first of this one. Hard around the boards. He'll kick this along. Puck is just skittering into the neutral zone here as Chernyuk left it behind here, trying to reach for it. He got there ahead of Reniker, and it's Townsend. Townsend tries to go to the near side. Lazarus, it was intercepted. Here is Sutter, delaying there. Off to the far side, it skates. Here is Brickley. He'll wheel it back to the blue line. Now it's Hayes holding on his shot, and it's fought off there by Shaw with the left shoulder up to the middle of the blue line. It was kicked away, but Hayes maintains possession. His shot off the stick of Albrecht here. Albrecht will play this one dangerously along for Lazarus. Lazarus hard back through the middle. His pass intercepted. Skating onto it once more, however, was Lazarus. He forced it down low. The Wildcats might get caught up in a change here. Hayes motoring forward down the middle. Here's Hayes. Drop pass. Subri intercepts. Hooked off it. Puck is loose there. It's left in front. Shot goes wide of the cage from Irvine as Yeager got just enough on it to send it skittering wide. 12:30 remaining in the third period. Irvine hooked into the offensive zone. Subri drops softly back for Kosmeski. Kosmeski looks to play it up ahead for Reisinger. Reisinger hooks into some space. Now on his backhand, chips in deep. No one there pursuing down low. As first of this one, it's Brennan. He'll take this easily up the ice. Finds Irvine. Irvine, cross ice. Gornall plays it in deep, wide of the cage of Shaw. First to it here will be Shane Kosmeski. He tries to send it hard around for Yeager. Yeager got there first. Nice play there by Eric as it squirts out to this near side, and Kosmeski fends off his man and will work it into the neutral zone. Between the blue lines, Topeka trying to operate. Sent in deep, no icing here as Hikosaka got a stick to that one. Dangerous collision there. Played towards the middle and an alert stick there by Shaw to knock it away from Lutz as Bolio can't escape the zone quite yet. Shuffled along to the near side half wall. Poland tied up there with Bolio. Lutz took the puck. His shot saved and held by Shaw as we'll get a whistle as Brown and Yeager tie up. Now a bigger coming together. Hikosaka and Kosmeski get acquainted. 11:36 remaining in the third. 2-2 the score here from the K. Yeager Coliseum. And after the Wildcats had a good early storm in this third period, stemming from a power play opportunity that went by the wayside, Topeka responding with a good spell of offensive zone pressure of their own. Face-off will be to the left of Shaw as this third period motors along. Fornaris will step in. Face-off off the leg of Falconer. Fornaris corrals, plays it in front. Puck loose. It goes high and wide as a shot came from Fernsler from point-blank range. Poland can't corral this one. Bolio on his backhand looks to play this one softly up ahead. Apap motoring forward. No icing here as he'll get there first. Apap below the goal line. Bolio trying to corral this one. Here is Apap. Apap in front looking for Falconer. It was left behind. Apap and Falconer will hold the zone momentarily. Apap flips it towards the net. It's Bolio. Falconer, his shot softly there. Saved by Tomek. Bank attempt. Falconer has it once more. Here is Falconer looking to operate below the circle. Now it's Bolio. Bolio out there with Apap and Falconer. Bolio walking towards the middle. Shot fought off. Puck loose there, and it's picked up by Strong. Cleared only as far as the blue line. The zone here is Sherazin, softly towards the net. It's Stobbs, spinning backhand as he lost an edge. Held here by Sherazin momentarily, but he overskated. Gornall walks through the middle. Headman pass, Urzowski, and he lost it in his skates. Otherwise, he would have been clean in as Cook was coming back on the back check. Caroming around here in the neutral zone. Sherazin hacks it free, jabs for it there, but Hayes got there in front of him. Litviak at his own blue line. Looks to turn up the ice. Turned it over. Here's Gornall's shot. Fought off by Shaw. Where's the puck? And it's sent wide. Irvine, wrap chance. It's sent to the far side glass. Brickley, one-timer. Blocked in front. Jabbed away from danger. Sherazin overskates it. Litviak can't force it out of the zone. Here's Knight. Chips down low past Cam Knight. Cook rolls it around to the near side. Hayes tied up there. Trying to jab it free, but not able to do so were the Cats. Cook will be the first one to it here. Send it behind the cage for Knight. Hard around the board. Sheridan digs, not able to clear. Second attempt, still the Wildcats aren't able to clear the zone. Urzowski run hard to the ditch there. This one still has not cleared the zone. Hook towards the middle here for Maver, and it's sent back towards the half wall. Look out in the crowd there, as that one is out of play. The Wildcats running around in their own zone a little bit there. But Farmer was able to clear the zone, and since it didn't go clean out of play, it just went into the Wildcats bench area. The Wildcats are able to get a much-needed change on. 9:33 remaining in the third period here from the KYC in a game that is tied up 2 goals apiece. Weak little backhander went through the blue paint. No harm, no foul. Townsend tries to chip this one out. Couldn't do so here. Couple of players collide. Maver has it taken away from him here. Puck is still loose. Wildcats jamming at it here. It's mayhem in the neutral zone. And Albrecht is finally able to squeeze this one farther away from the Wildcat zone. Townsend quickly back up the ice. Lazarus chipped it along. Here is Colin Staub protecting and gaining the zone. Tries to hook towards the middle. Albrecht plays it, looking for Lazarus there. Jabbing at it was Albrecht. It's picked up by Renneker instead. Nice stick here by Albrecht. Onside, no. Onside play, yes. Maver plays it towards the middle. Puck left behind, as that was Sutter hoping to pull the trigger. Banks softly ahead, trying to skate onto this one here as Lazarus. Hooked away from him. Lazarus goes off to the near side corner, put it right on the stick of a Topeka skater. Turned over. Here's a shot that's blocked from Kelly as Yeager had read the outlet pass. Into the corner it skates. Staub hacking at this one. We'll play on. Staub walking off the wall. Here's Staub. Toe drag his shot. Kelly got a block to that one and sent it towards the corner. Brennan clears. This goes all the way down the ice and will not be icing here. It's on the cage of Shaw, so he'll stick this one along for Eric Yeager. Yeager steps away from Cam Strong and looks to start up the ice. Yeager needs to find a passing lane as he gets to the red line and plays this one in deep. 8 minutes remaining in the third. Behind the net with it, here is Shearer. Now he'll swing all the way up the ice. Right wing wall. Shearer gets past Kuzmeski. Kuzmeski took him off the puck as this is a foot race back to it, as this is picked up by Poland in his own zone as APAP puts him under pressure. Through the middle of the ice. Kuzmeski gets a stick in the way as Strong was starting to sprint free. Here is Cam Strong up to the blue line, intercepted by Falconer. Falconer looks to play this one in. Kuzmeski trying to reach this one first. He knocked it towards the corner. Here's Kuzmeski protecting in the corner. Hooks for Bolio. Bolio, bad angle attempt out in front. APAP trying to grab the rebound there. Sent behind the cage, near side corner at Karams. Kuzmeski tries to go down the wall with it once more. Here's APAP below the goal line. He'll skate behind the cage. APAP hooks out in front. Cam Knight was stepping into the slot. It was away from him. Nice recovery there by Cam Knight. The Wildcats send this one in deep. They'll start up a change. 7:15 remaining in the third. 2-2 the score as we're continuing to skate at a breathless pace here at the KYC. Gornall forward for Irvine now. Irvine back checking his shares, and Irvine still on the puck though. Collision there. Irvine taking off it. Farmer steps onto it. Sheridan skating 1-on-3. Upended there, blown up as he crossed the blue line by Hayes as someone loses a stick. Holding the zone, now escaping. Here is Hayes. Over the blue line comes Hayes. At the circle, shot kicked away. Rebound is loose. Holding on it, Gornall shot, save, rebound, and swept away from Hayes, who was camped out in the circle. Hayes along the blue line for Brickley. Brickley, his shot blocked down in front there by Gornall and golfed out of the zone by Nick Farmer. Under 6.5 remaining in the third. 2-2 the score here. Urzowski has some trouble with it. Towards the corner it goes. Holding on it. Townsend holding on a shot. Now he'll play it around the boards. Behind the net. Here is Oakley. Oakley looking to swivel out in front. Puck is sitting loose at the doorstep after it was partially deflected. This one kicks off the glass. Held in here. Subri swats it towards the corner there. It's picked up by Topeka in the form of Hayes, and they'll clear it to the neutral zone. Chernyuk, his pass, cross ice, intercepted by Maver. Townsend easily back to recover as Reisinger banks this one up ahead. Here's Subri. Oakley took it off him. Oakley trying to step towards the middle, jamming for it there. It goes to the corner as this is Brennan. Oakley took that one right away from Subri. Now he'll come to the bench for a change as Lazarus gets on. Here is Brennan. Dump in, hit Renneker, but it was an onside play as Sutter is on the puck. Hook towards the middle. Chernyuk steps in front and plays this one out of the zone. Lazarus, 5.5 remaining. Lazarus trying to walk around Kelly and does. Lazarus puts on the brakes in the corner, needs a pass. Will play it back for Albrecht. His shot, it was wide of the cage. He was hoping for a tip in front. Near side, it works its way along the half wall. Down into the corner it goes. Brennan first to it here for Topeka with just over 5 minutes remaining. Under pressure there was Kelly. Brennan will come back to support, as on a strong forecheck was Austin Albrecht. Almost left behind here by Topeka, but it's hooked into the neutral zone and played up the ice. Yeager decides against that little step and aggressive skate as we hit 5 minutes even remaining in this period. Falconer tries to play it back to Kosmeski. It was a little away from his reach. Now it's Hiko Saka into the corner, all the way around to the far side. This is picked up by Scherer towards the net, blocked down in front there as Falconer has this one. Now it's Yeager. Puck is loose. Staub is tied up in the corner, trying to work it free. It's on the stick of a RoadRunner skater in the form of Lutz. Drop shoulder there by Gornall. Hooked towards the middle, looking for Willie Brown, and Yeager got in the way. Yeager protecting, rolled into the wall there. Staub coming along to help out. Falconer moved it along to Kosmeski. Kosmeski's pass up ahead for Colin Staub. Here is Staub, puts on the brakes, plays it towards the front of the net. Poland will knock this one away before it reaches the cage of Tomek. Picked up here. Played in deep over the red line, so no icing. Cam Strong ridden off it here, but he'll win that battle with Matt Cook, as swallowing the whistle is Brody Cundy. Squirts out to the near side half wall. Fernsler corrects. Walking in is Fernsler, looking to wrap all the way around in front. His shot saved by Shaw. Loose disc. It's taken off the blade of Lutz by an alert Tommy Apap. Here is Apap. Headman pass. Bolio gets a skate to it here, so no icing. It didn't get into the offensive zone. Bolio cancels his man out and walks in. Here is Litviak holding toe drag. Bolio, his shot saved by Tomek. Puck loose. Bolio can't work it free, as this is Hayes behind the net. 3:30 remaining in this third period. It's breathtaking at the KYC. Up and down we go. Here's Hayes. Drop pass. Loose puck. Skated onto here by a Topeka skater in the form of Irvine. Tries to go down the wall. Intercepted. Chernyuk played it up ahead but couldn't escape the zone. Here's Fornars. Drop pass. Good stick there. Gornall with it on his blade, and it's jammed away from him. Walking in, here's Poland. Holds on a one-timer. Poland fed it along for a teammate there. Here's a quick shot blocked in front by Chernyuk, and he'll clear it down. 3 minutes remaining in this second period. In this third period, in the second of two games at the KYC this weekend. It's on the stick of Farmer. Reisinger, did he glove it down? It's played here by a Topeka skater, so if there was a hand pass, it's canceled out. Farmer in on the forecheck here, ridden off it by Brennan, picking this one up and playing it up ahead. It's Gornall. Gornall sidestepped the big hit, and another check from Farmer. Gornall gains a zone. Sweep check there by Farmer, ineffective. Gornall hooked towards the middle. They scored. Oh, 5-hole, a weak little goal by Gornall, and the Wildcats trail 3-2 with 2:34 to go. Shaw has been so good all night, but that is a softie. He skated around one guy, then a second. It has been coming. Topeka has been all over the Wildcats in the latter stages of this second period. And now we'll have a timeout taken. So, 2:34 remaining in the third. I have no idea how that one squeaked between the legs of Austin Shaw, but it did. And what I will say is that a game played to this level and to this caliber, you would have thought it might have been a little bit of a stronger goal than that. That would prove to be the game winner. Gornall, barring something unforeseen, looks like he might have just picked up the game winner for Topeka on his 9th of the year. So the Wildcats have shown a remarkable ability and a remarkable unflappability this year. We'll see what they're made of now. Albrecht and Lazarus out there with Cook and Cam Knight out of the timeout, as Topeka might have just salvaged a split on the weekend. Lazarus gains a zone, onside, has a step. Here's Lazarus, shot saved by Tomek, and we'll get the whistle as cooler heads prevail, as a couple of guys came skating back to create some mayhem. 2:28 remaining in the third, and the real disappointing factor on that goal, aside from the fact that squeezed 5-hole on Austin Shaw on a weak little backhander. No idea how that one went in. That's one he'll want back. He was great all night long until that one there. But the Wildcats did have a few opportunities to take that one off of Gornall's stick. Anyway, this is Albrecht on the near side half wall. Stashes it to the corner. Here's Lazarus looking to hook out in front. Rolled off it there, legally so, as he tried to hook it along for a stop. Too many men on the ice, almost, for Topeka, but they were able to get away with it as Gornall was able to stay on the bench. But it caroms out of play. 2:13 remaining in the third. We'll keep an eye on Austin Shaw, as we'll see when he vacates the cage for the extra attacker. Bolio, Staub, Lazarus, Yeager, and Townsend out there for the Cats. Face off, won by the Wildcats. Fighting through the hook there was Yeager. Below the goal line, Apap out in front. He was hoping for Staub, and it was not there for him, just away. Now it's fed up the ice. Still in his crease, here is Austin Shaw, leaving it to be played by Townsend, who will leave this one along for Yeager. Here is Yeager. He'll look to play this one up the wall. Bolio has it for Wichita Falls. At the red line, he'll play in deep. 1:50 remaining in the third. As first to this one below the goal line, it's picked up by Gornall. Fed up along the wall for Norris. Can he clear? No, not quite yet. Shaw still in his cage for the moment. Broken play. Here's Albrecht walking in, jamming for it, and it's skittered just wide. A good strong poke check kept him from pulling the trigger. Bolio to the point. Townsend, Knight, one-timer, flubbed it. Bolio holding shot, blocked in front, didn't get all the way through. Less than 90 seconds remaining in the period. Trying to clear, and doing so were the Roadrunners. Irvine, one-on-one with Knight. He'll play this farther along. 1:15 remaining in the third. The Wildcats have not had an extra attacker goal this season. To be honest, they haven't really needed one too many times. Farmer had some trouble with the puck there in a crucial area as hacking a man off it. This was Apap and Poland canceling each other out in the neutral zone. Last minute of play in the period brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites as it's last chance saloon for Wichita Falls. Here is Cam Knight starting this one forward, looking to get to the red line. He does, now into the offensive zone, but it's spiked away from him right as Austin Shaw comes to the bench for a change. Colin Staub, the extra attacker on. Cats gain the zone. Sheridan chips down low. First to it is Colin Staub. Played towards the middle. Puck loose in front. Yeager shot. It's blocked. They jump for it. No goal. It went in. We're playing on. Here's Yeager once more to the middle. Sheridan loading shot blocked. 25 seconds remaining. The entire building thought they had scored. Below the goal line with it. Now jabbing towards the front of the net. Here is Yeager, and we get the whistle as the net is off its moorings. 20 seconds remaining in the third. The Wildcats and the entire crowd thought they had scored. The red light never went on. Tomek never reacted. Cundy, the referee, was right on top of it. As it was Yeager with the shot. We're seeing a replay here. Then it was just jam time. Farmer thought it was in. We're going to get a timeout here. Looks like it'll be taken by Topeka. Will be taken by Topeka. Farmer thought he had scored on that jam attempt. We have 20 seconds remaining in the third period. What do you got on the X's and O's? Coach LaFontaine. The faceoff will be to the right of Tomek. Austin Shaw is out of the cage in favor of an extra attacker. Mike Gornall from Sly Sutter at 17:26 of this third period. That is the marker that separates these two teams. Third time tonight, Topeka has held a one-goal lead. The Wildcats have been able to cancel it out both times. They're going to need to do it a third time if they want to force overtime. And with the score 2-0 in favor of Lone Star, a loss here for the Wildcats would or could likely put them back in third place. Apap to take the draw. Stop, Cook, Farmer, Sheridan, and Knight out there. Faceoff is won by the Wildcats. 15 seconds remaining. Cook towards the net. Backdoor. Sheridan playing in towards the middle. Now up to the top of the zone. Knight holds on it. Shot towards the net. Deflected. They'll jam for it. Where's the puck? It's loose. There's 7 seconds remaining, and Farmer put it up to the glass. He put it out of play, and that went clean out. That was the chance. 5.1 seconds remaining, and as hot as Farmer is, you would back him to at least force a save from Tomek. Instead, he put it out of play, and that sees the faceoff go to the neutral zone, and that will likely be that in the last 5 seconds of the third. Whole lot of credit for the Wildcats, the way they've battled here after giving up that goal in the last 2 minutes. This is Cook, swept forward, offside play. We'll get another whistle. 1.3 seconds remaining in the third. So it's all over but a formality on the puck drop. The Wildcats fight so hard. They come so close on multiple occasions, tying this game with the goalie pulled. But the effort's going to be all for naught. Puck down, final horn. Topeka on a late goal that snuck through the 5-hole of Austin Shaw comes away with a 3-2 win. The home streak is over. The 4-game win streak is over. All good things come to an end, and the Wildcats' 11-game home winning streak did here this evening at the K. Yeager Coliseum. A good hard-fought game between these two sides, but we will say that goal at the end there was a soft one for as well as both of these goaltenders played. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll put the wrap on this one as the Wildcats lose 3-2 to the Topeka RoadRunners here on a Saturday night as the Runners salvage the split. We'll be back in a minute to finish up this one here from the KYC as Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing will wrap up just after this. Yeager Coliseum putting the wrap on this one. The Wildcats see their home winning streak come to an end. That's a span of 11 games. Now over 3-2. Topeka takes the win in this one. A hard-fought third period came right down to the wire. Topeka scored the game-winning goal with 2.5 minutes remaining. The Wildcats created multiple grade A looks to try and tie the game up, and they almost did a couple of times. Farmer thought he had jammed one over the line after a broken play, saw the puck carom out to Yeager in the high slot. This all coming with the extra attacker in that third period, but it didn't go, and then Farmer had another attempt to tie the game up. He had some space upstairs, but he got a little too overeager when he was throwing his hands upwards to try and roof it over Tomek. He got the glass and sent it out of play, and there was not a hotter skater than the Wildcats, or for the Wildcats, than Nick Farmer. You would have backed him to at least hit the net there, but for all Farmer has done over the last 7 games now, he's on a 7-game career best 8-game point streak, I should say. He had 2 points tonight. That is now 5 straight multi-point games for Nick Farmer. For all he has done, you can't begrudge him missing one there. You just hope he's able to shank that one off and move along and keep things going in the right direction for Wichita Falls. Let's get you the scoring summary here before we sign off air on a hard luck loss for the Wildcats at the KYC. They'll have a chance to get right back to it next weekend, though. But the scoring summary goes as such. In the first period, about halfway through the frame, a power play opportunity for Topeka. Their only one of the night. Proved to not take all that long. It took 11 seconds after Evan Oakley took an offensive zone penalty for Daniel Brickley to blast one home from the blue line. That was a power play tally from Fernsler and Gornall. And in the process, that was goal number 9 on the year for Daniel Brickley. Kevin Sherrison would respond for Wichita Falls as just after a Wildcats power play had ended at 14:18 of the first period, as he tucked one home backdoor after Farmer kicked it along to him as we entered the second period tied up at a goal apiece. Cam Strong had an early goal in that second period to give the Runners a 2-1 lead. Carlos Fornares beat Chernyuk back to a puck and hooked it out in front. Cam Strong, fresh from the bench, skated onto it and sent it far side just inside the post. It beat Austin Shaw. That was 3:10 of the second period. Then, as the second period ended, with 1 minute and 1 second left, the Wildcats tied it up once more. 2-2 was the score after Farmer was able to poke home the rebound on Matt Cook's wrister from the blue line. That was a power play tally for the Wildcats. They were 1 for 4 on the man advantage on the night. The big one coming that they came up empty on came in the third period after a high sticking minor by Daniel Erzowski. The third period, it was even, about as even as you're going to get. Up and down the ice we played. What a testament that game was to junior hockey. Anyone who thinks that this is not good competitive hockey should have watched this game and tried to say that after seeing it. What pace, what breathtaking action as we skated up and down the ice. Both teams, multiple good looks at trying to find the winner, and it proved to be the weakest little effort of them all that did. Gornall picked up the loose puck in his own zone from Sly Sutter. He stepped around one forechecker, sidestepped a sweep check from Farmer, and then a second sweep check from Farmer. And then on his backhand was able to just find some space between the 5-hole of Austin Shaw to make it 3-2. In the last 2.5 minutes, the Wildcats ramped up the pressure as you would expect, and they piled things on. But they just weren't able to find an equalizer. Farmer thought he had scored once. Then a second time, Farmer had a quick little shot looking up towards the top of the net, but he roofed it. He roofed it too much, got the glass, and sent it out of play as the horn would eventually sound 3-2. Win tonight, Matej Tomek. He makes 31 saves on 33 shots. He improves to, on the season, Tomek now 17-3-1. Austin Shaw gets the loss tonight. That is his first loss at the King Yeager Coliseum. He makes 25 saves on 28 shots. Made some very good, strong saves, but definitively one he'll want back. With the win, Topeka improves on the year to 27-8-3. They are now 8-6-2 away from home. That breaks a 5-game losing streak away from the Landon Arena at the Kansas Expo Center for the RoadRunners. They're 21-6-1 in the division. The Wildcats with the loss, 25-9-0. They are 16-3-0 at home, 22-8-0 in the division. The bad news for Wichita Falls is, as Lone Star leads Wenatchee 2-0, it looks like the Wildcats are going to finish up the night back in third place, although they will still have a game in hand on the Lone Star Brahmas. But the Wildcats lose an opportunity to cut into that 5-point lead from Topeka at the top of the standings. That lead has been stretched back to 7. The Wildcats still hold 4 games in hand, but they would have at least liked to pick up a point to at least gain some ground out of this. So That'll do it for us here from the KYC. Reminder, our next broadcast will be Friday evening when the Wildcats kick off Jersey off our back weekend to benefit Children's Miracle Network against the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. Same time, same place, 7:05 puck drop. So 6:50 on the pregame here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. One more reminder, by the way. That game on Saturday, the 17th of January, will be 5 p.m. puck drop to accommodate the Jersey auction after the fact. That is a 5 p.m. puck drop here at the KYC. Be sure to heed that if you will be heading to the game. We'll make sure to post that one up on Facebook, on Twitter, all over the place to make sure that everyone is well aware. So, a good effort from the Wildcats just comes up just that little bit short against Topeka here this evening. Final score for the final time, 3-2 in favor of the RoadRunners as the Wildcats' 11-game home winning streak comes to an end. All good things must come to an end, and so too must this broadcast. So until next Friday night, I'm Ben Horner saying thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing. From all of us here at the Wildcats, have a good night, everybody, and take care.